Welcome, everybody.
Hi, it's Friday night, and you are live here with us.
Great to have you all. Thank God it's Friday. Couldn't have come faster enough. It felt like 8 weeks into one.
That's right.
Yes.
Somehow it feels that this week, I don't know, I think the closer it goes to the change of the year, the faster the weeks and days come by. Maybe that's why.
It makes sense. I guess there's something in the water. I don't know, but it's
There's
going to
something in the water, that's for sure. Or in the air, guys. What do you feel like? Does it feel like something in the water? Or maybe in the air?
There we go. Oh, man,
welcome to our live stream. We are Puša Studios. We're a husband and wife team in Montreal, and we're welcoming you to our live interview show today. That's right. Today is a little chat.
Great to have all you guys in here. See some new faces in here. I'm adding wrenches for you guys. Great to have you all in. Some people I met today and some people just coming in for the first time. Welcome. Great to have you. You'll notice everybody has blue wrenches. That's a show of equality. We're all under one roof. We're all creators. No matter what size of channel you are, what your channel's about, in here, there's no passports, no borders. One land, the land of YouTube, and it's great to have each and every one of you guys here with us.
That's right, and we're going to have a very interesting night tonight. Usually on Fridays, we have a little bit of a chill-out, so to say, mood here, a little throwback. You grab your coffee or a drink of choice and just kick back and chat around and listen to us. Well, today we're going to have a little bit some other things as well. For example, we got mail. We have a letter to open, as well as unboxing of some very exciting item for me, especially. And we have a guest on as well, Scott Donnelly. He is going to be chatting with us. All real talk with no apologies and little surprises as well. So that's going to be interesting.
I'm going to say hi to everybody in a second. We always do that. Give everybody a minute or two to file in, and then we're going to call out your names and celebrate you guys here, each and every one of you individually. Riley's Finchfield Food Reviews. Congrats on 4K, Puša Studios. I'm not having a good day. I lost 408 of my supports. Sorry for promoting it. Just sad. Well, let me say, first of all, I understand. And I'm not downplaying that. That's a lot. We lost today, not near as much. We seem to be in the normal realm. It was around 40, seemed for most people. We had hit 47 this morning, and we went down to 461, and now we're back up to 465. And to everybody out there, this is not just to Riley and that, guys. Always remember with YouTube, we don't have a contract. We're not owed anything. And the biggest thing is now is that we just keep doing what we are doing. We keep doing it better. We keep motivating ourselves to be better, work harder, and things are going to fall into place, you know. And I know I feel bad because I was going to bring it up, but I know 408, that's a lot. That's a lot. So I can understand. We've seen a channel today went down from 50-some thousand down to 17,000. They're having a real bad day.
That's a big dive.
And that person was there in a live stream and said, you know, people will come back. Now imagine saying it after losing that many. So just hang in there, believe in yourself. Yeah, see, Cardoso lost 20-ish. You know, everybody seems... Guys, lots of people stop watching YouTube. Their channels go away. Things come up in life. They've lost passwords to it. You know, they're A32629 Enigma, because I couldn't. I'm so sorry, Enigma.
Sorry.
And it's wonderful to have you in here. It really is. I lost less than 10 people. See? You know?
There are different ranges and different amounts, and of course, you know, it depends on how much you had altogether, where you're gonna feel a more impact. You know, depending on the numbers as well. For somebody who has millions, it might, you know, 40, 100 might not feel as hard as for somebody who has a couple hundred or a couple thousand. So it's all relative, and we do feel for the ones that feel that they have lost more than they were expecting.
And I seen like Disney said that they gained today. Just remember, guys, and I'm not trying to be the downplayer, this is just be prepared that you might notice by tonight, because it can go up till night. There's no real tight schedule. This was just a note. You might still get it. Most people are, but don't worry about it if you do. Like, don't the
main thing, this is not out of the normal. As we were talking already, I think for weeks and weeks on end, that this is what's going on with YouTube all the time, that your sub count go up and down. It's like a hard rhythm, okay? And it's good that it's not in one straight line,
right? Because
that it means it's dead, right? But it goes up and down, and really at the end of it all, we probably lose around the same in a month on average than each of us lost today in one day. So look at the perspective. The main thing is your channel growing upwards. At the end of the day, after a month or two, when you sum everything up, are you going in pluses?
Yes.
That, you know, it's the same as when you own a restaurant or a store. You don't get upset about every loss or every burnt dish that you know couldn't sell. And you could just look at the end of the day. Are you in pluses or are you in minuses? And I think we should kind of look at it the same way.
Yep, it's for most people. Like, I feel bad now with
I do
400's a lot more, so kind of changed our
encourage.
message. Yeah. And he said it was nice. He said your videos are making me feel better, which was very kind of you to say. And you're gonna get back. You're gonna be better than ever. But guys, as a side note, that's the biggest thing to do is just, if you look at a month, you lose more than what you probably lost today. It just sucks when it drops in one shot. But you guys got this, and you're gonna be better than ever. The sun will shine. People will come. You guys will grow. Everybody will be fine. So.
Yes, that's right. Keep on moving. Kimberkiss, I like that song. That's right. That's very true. So, guys, we do feel for those that feel bad about today. We understand and we empathize, but at the same time, we want to encourage you to keep going. Don't give up. And at the end of the day, it is better to have people that are actually watching what you're doing.
Variety Girl, I had a bad day today regardless of YouTube, but was looking forward to chat tonight. Pusa
hugs to you.
And hugs to you, and so great to have you in here, and we look forward to seeing you as well. I get to the farm. Wait. We got Variety Girl the other night. She dropped or what? She's $9.97?
Yeah, she probably dropped the same as anybody else today. We got her into the 1,000. Yeah, but that's okay.
That's right, Mrs. Green Thumb. The sun will come out tomorrow, so don't sweat it. You guys are better than that. We're all in it for the long haul, and you guys are going to blow those numbers right off the map.
And hugs to everybody that feels sad about YouTube or anything else. It's the end of the week, and hopefully the next one is going to color in a little bit brighter colors for you.
Definitely. You guys will get through this. Have no fear. Let's just do a little check, guys, here. Oh, my God, guys. See, we got 70 in the chat. We got 44 likes. It's a Friday night. Great to hang out with you guys. We got a great guest coming. Xenia's got a box opening in just a moment. I'm going to call out the name. And I'm just going to say before that, guys, it's not too late to take a selfie of you watching us. And if you can't do that, a selfie of you. And upload it to our Twitter link here. Use the hashtag Blue Wrench Group. It's a great place to be seen. Make sure if you have merch in that, take a moment, put it on, promote yourself, let everybody see how good you look.
Yeah, slap your logo in it. You know, attach the link to your latest video. We always say don't self-promote in the chat. Well, Twitter is your place. Hashtag Blue Wrench Group. Put everything out there.
Definitely, guys. Looking forward to seeing all you guys' great photos. They're always so amazing to look at. Made hot chocolate and feel better. Make a hot chocolate and feel better, everyone. Get to the farm. Well, that's just about the best advice I've heard all night.
I love that.
Alrighty, guys. I'm going to just say hello to all you awesome people. Once again, guys, it's a roll call. And you guys are always as the stars of the show, so you get the echo treatment, folks. That's right, an arena-sized welcome for a bunch of amazing creators. I also do it too because I'm horrible at pronouncing names. So when I make a disaster of your name, please know I'm doing it with love. And at least you can have a chuckle that it was in an echo, so you still get heard. I have X written in blood, Nation 13. Welcome. Variety Girl 1. Vanix is in the house. Hey, the German 3D printing nerd. I was on his live stream this morning.
Yeah, I peeked on it too this morning.
I had a fantastic time. You guys are awesome. What a great group of people. Thank you so much for having me. The Blair's Vlogs. Terrell's artwork channel. Terrell, guys, show him lots of love. He is the original wrench. Back when there was nobody in our chat, right at the beginning, Terrell was there. Much love to you. Smokin' Joe's Barbecue. Roy's Parman. Rob's Homemade. Riley Finchfield Food Reviews. Rebel Rocker. Psycho Ghost Trackers. PK Master Revben 2. Pronounce it right. Patrick D is in the house. Patricia Sprinkles. Nathan likes drums. Nathan was another one right from the beginning. Yeah. Right from the get-go. Mudnut59, welcome. We met last night, if I'm not mistaken. Great to see you here at another live stream. Mrs. Green Thumb, what's going on? Life Tips with Miss D. Lima's Play World. Leonard Shea. Kimber Kiss. Sumi. Jackie Haru. Humphrey Bear, Hastings BNSF N-Scale Modeler, Granny Monster, Go to the Farm, Gary Foster's Brant Aerials, Funko Pop Ohana. Those pop guys are amazing. There. Family Fun, Family Vloggers, Faith Darling TV, Entity Paranormal Investigators, DJ 1983, Disney World Adventures, Darth Nimulus Kevin Lord of Hunger, Beautiful Awesome, Barrel Boy Woods, Avria, All Around Back Again, Alyssa Parrish Rock Fam, Active Dad Lifestyle, Acrobat 456, Enigma, also known as A326298816, 8-Bit Reactor, 21090 Brewing, and 2448 Toyman. Welcome each and every one of you guys. If I missed anybody, please say hi, highlight your name, highlight our name so I can say hello to you. We got Tim's World in here, great to see you. We got Gemma, Autism at its finest grace, because she's just awesome. We have Life Tips with Miss D, Sparky 107, American Desi Mom, Jay Hernandez,
The Change Project, The Mitten Dad, Queen Paula Banks.
Nice.
Hello, everybody, and hello, everyone who's listening to us on their headphones. If you can say hi in the chat, please do, and if you can't, that's okay too. Hope you enjoy your Friday evening or Saturday morning with us.
That's right. We got Josh Myers United, we got Nomadic Bike, we got Alex the Blue Man Reviewer and Gamer, Daffodils in Las Vegas, Xander Round, Fire Kicks Reacts, how are you? I was just thinking about you today, actually. Who's your back outdoors? I might add, change it. Looking great. Jiggy Fam Vlogs, thank you so much. Right back at you. Great to have you in here. All kinds of great channels, guys. All great people to meet. And guys, feel free to meet each other. Treat it tonight like a comedy club. We have a guest on, so just keep things nice and even, not too much. And please, no self-promotion whatsoever. Instead, check out these people and tell them how awesome they are. Get to know them, and they're going to get to know you right back. I guarantee you. Then I'm going to take this off because I'm starting to sound like a Kmart special.
And the beautiful music in our background is provided by MU Free Music for your videos, our choice of season 2. If you're looking for audio files for your videos, that's the place to go.
Jamaica Girl 123, welcome, welcome, welcome. And Granny Monster need to leave in a bit to get ready to go for a trip to the store with the roommate. Ooh. Hope you have a great time.
Train IAA or AE.
I love it. I love it. Welcome. Great to have you in here.
Welcome here. Welcome everybody. If you're new and you are wondering why everybody's having blue wrenches, well, being a mod, it's not a status here, it's a philosophy.
That's right.
Everybody is equally contributing to the quality of this show, the guests, us, you guys, and to be fair, I must say that guys, you in the chat are the biggest contributors to this show. The mood of the chat and the vibes that you are giving are definitely making it.
We're getting raided. Ghost Mafia, dad raid.
Wow.
No way.
No way.
I didn't even know he was on.
Wow.
Really?
Is he on himself?
That is so cool.
I hope he's feeling better and better every day. Wow. Thank you so much.
Shiny Collector, you're the best. You're the best. Right back at you. Julie's Miracle Love School. Oh, so nice to see you. Sweet. Sent us a personalized mug all the way from South Korea. I mean, how awesome is that?
So awesome. Talking about mugs, my son couldn't get the mug to school and back without breaking it, and yours traveled all the way from Korea. I don't know how did you do it. Hello, everybody.
Wow.
Hello and welcome.
Prankster. Look at that's awesome.
After his dad sent a bunch of us after his stream. Well, thank you so much for joining us, everybody coming.
That is so awesome.
That's awesome and joining us today. Love that.
That's really appreciated.
Well, welcome. Tonight is our interview night. We're going to have a little bit of mail unboxing, and then right after, we're going to have our guest, Scott Donnelly. He's a co-host of a podcast as well as a YouTuber. We're going to be talking real life talk, all up in the and out in the open. No apologies. It's going to be fun.
Guys, there's going to be a lot to listen to. This guy has actually had a radio background and everything. Mm-hmm. Lots about presenting yourself. Gemma, you sent your selfie. I was hoping you would. I think right now I'm going to pass it over to Xenia and let her tell you about her unboxing.
Yes, I'm so excited. And guys, this is your time. If you want to watch with one eye, and also hit that like button, share, and subscribe if you're new in the button below, as well as make that selfie visible. # Blue Wrench Group. You have time to do that right now. Well, how about we start with the letter first? Do you want to open the letter?
I'm typing here. You go right ahead.
Okay, so first let's start with the letter. We got a letter from Canada. As you can see, I'm not going to show the address, but from Canada. And it says that the letter comes from the Happy Canadian. So thank you so much to the Happy Canadian sending us this surprise. We love getting surprises, by the way. And let's see. Oh, that's a Christmas card. We love getting Christmas cards. So old school and so awesome. Look at that. Nice. Look at that. A Christmas card from a Happy Canadian. If you haven't checked him out, I think he's doing a Vlogmas challenge every day. A vlog. Thank you. So have fun-filled holiday season. Thank you so much from all the family. I'm not going to read the letter, but thank you so much. Thank you so much. That is so awesome. The Happy Canadian, a shout out to you. And thank you so much for, Christmas wishes and Happy New Year. Happy New Year to your family as well. And Merry Christmas. Thank you so much.
So kind of you to think of us. Appreciate it so much.
That is awesome.
Well, you're opening. I'm just calling out a couple more channels I can see here. We got Paul the Ninjas join us. Lulu, love you. How are you, sweetie? Always great to see you. We got Humphrey Bear. Buy it, break it, and fix it's in here. Great to see you. Just gave you a wrench. PD Tech is in here. Guys, Top 5 Funny, welcome. That's just a stream of awesome channels, guys. What a great way to hang out for the
Work Legend 01. Hello, welcome to our channel.
Yes, definitely. Let's get you a wrench.
We are doing a little unboxing right now, and right after we're going to be inviting our guest, Scott Donnelly, for a chat, a Friday chill out chat. Okay, are we ready?
Yeah, let's do it, hon.
Okay, so I got very excited, and girls in the chat, or maybe some boys as well, are going to understand what I'm talking about. I got a mail from Influencer. Influencer right there. You can see the box. Oh my God, and I didn't open it up until now. Can you believe that?
I'm surprised. I can't believe it.
Yeah, because I got so excited, and I'm so excited. So let's see what is in there. This is provided for free for us to review. So let's get to see what are we going to review in our future video. Yes. You could also join us on Instagram, where I'm sure to share the pictures and results of whatever is inside the box. So let's see what is in there. And wow, look at that. Look at that. It has a card. Let It Glow VoxBox card. And I think that's also the name of this influencer box. Let It Glow VoxBox. So awesome. This is so awesome. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
There's a lot of stuff. Holy
There's
man.
a lot of stuff right there. And I'm going to bring it closer so you can see what is inside right there.
You can show a couple of things on it.
Yeah, and I'll show you what is inside there. But as I said, we're definitely going to do the video, as well as join us our Instagram at Puša Studios, where I'm going to be posting some of the reviews for all of these items separately. We got a Revlon volume mascara. Isn't that amazing? There you go. I needed mascara. You know, you're going like square free because you don't have to buy now for me, you know, any mascara. Now I have it.
I love it. Best gift ever. I love it. Thank you.
That is so awesome. So Revlon Volume Mascara is in the box, as well as we have here. Look at that. What is this? This is charcoal Biore mask. So if you want to see me wearing a special mask, you're going to have to join our Instagram to check that out. That is pretty awesome. And we have two more items here. This is Clarins Hydra Essential Gel, which moisturizes, and cooling gel. That is very, very awesome. Look at that. I love that. I love getting free stuff.
Mudnut 59. What a great gift / unboxing. ... If you're into that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, and the last one is Be Your Charcoal cleansing water. Wow, I never seen anything like that before. That is pretty awesome. Charcoal cleansing water. So I'm going to be trying all that out and reviewing that. As I said, this was provided to us for free for reviewing by Influencer. Definitely we're gonna do some pictures and videos, so join us at our Instagram and wait for the video to come for the full review of this VoxBox. Thank you, Influencer. Yay!
She was so excited for this. Oh, I can't believe she made it. I can't believe she made it.
Oh my God, I was so excited. So excited. I couldn't wait. And guys, to share that all with you, this is so amazing. This is so amazing. Thank you so much for wow, thank you so much.
I give you credit. I didn't think you would hold out.
Yeah, no, I couldn't believe that either. I was looking at that box. I'm like, just a little pig. But I'm like, no, I can't. I gotta share the moment with our people in the chat. You know, it wouldn't be fair if I would pick it. So no, I'm not gonna do it. So guys, you helped me out. Thinking about you guys helped me out not to open it right until now.
Guys, we're 23 minutes in. We're a couple away from our guest, and you guys are absolutely phenomenal. I cannot thank you enough. We're already up to 74 likes. Guys, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. If you're new here and you like what we're doing, guys, we have channel shout outs. Actually, I'm going to do this a different way from now on. Give me a second here. I'm going to send you right to the source. There we go. Guys, you want to know what we're up to? It's very easy to find out. We just updated our About section. There you go. You even got all of our schedules. Sunday to Friday, basically, we're on at 7 p.m. Eastern every night, except for Thursday. Thursday, because Sunday night we start our week with Shoutout Game Night. That's when we spin a wheel, call out letters, shout out channels, give advice on how to make change in your channel to grow. Then Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays are guest night. We've had some great guests here. If you're new, actually just the other day we had Michael Price, the writer for The Simpsons. co-creator and executive producer of ABC's ABC series. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself right now because I was going to say the Bill Burr one and the other one, Teacher's Pet. and also he is the co-writer and co-producer of Bill Burr's F is for Family, stuff like that. Tech Talk Tuesdays on Tuesday nights. That's 3 hours of talking everything YouTube. It's a brainstorming session. We all get together. As you see, we all have wrenches. So if you have 10 subscribers or 10,000, it doesn't matter. We all face the same struggles, and we just figure out strategies together. We can ask questions. No, there's none too small. All across the spectrum. It's open season. So, and then Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern, which is 6 p.m. in the UK, if I'm not mistaken. Then we have European shout-outs. We start earlier to give all you guys a chance that's been staying up all week to watch us across the pond. So it's a way of saying thank you to you. So,
yes, amazing live streams, amazing, hopefully, entertainment, education, and a lot of fun during our live streams. And of course, mainly our interviews here with different creators from different levels, outside and inside of YouTube, celebrities as well. And as Andrew said, our latest one was Michael Price. Still can't believe that.
That's right. And also, too, guys, we got our merch. We have our new line of merch. And, of course, if you're new here, it's called the Blue Wrench Group. You can obviously see why now after being here for a few minutes. And this is exactly what we got going on, guys. Shirts and mugs and everything, all different, what do you call it? Different moods, different
styles. So we have two lines. One is plain but blue for simple hashtag Blue Wrench Group, and the other one is a custom made seamless blue wrench pattern available in socks, leggings. By the way, you can check those leggings out on our Twitter. We have people posting their selfies. That ended up being one of the most popular items.
I didn't know what to think at first, but I gotta say it has been. And it's an honor. I can't stress it enough.
Thank you, everybody who is purchasing that, and it's all available, still available for your Christmas purchase, by the way, with 2-day shipping. So go check that out.
Guys, thank you so much for your support. So please hit that like button, tweet it out, invite over a friend or two, tell them to come check out and meet all these people, and we're gonna have a really great interview. So great to have each and every one of you guys in here. You are what makes this live stream what it is. An awesome group of people under one roof. Thank you so much. Out of the 1 billion+ channels on YouTube, all the things that comes in life, all the commitments, all that stuff, and you guys chose to spend some time with us. We are truly honored to have you here. So, and I hope you have a really great time tonight. It's Friday, guys. Time to kick back a little bit. Have a coffee, have a drink. Our guest asked, is it okay if I have a drink? I'm like, I insist. I'm going to be sitting here smoking.
Please do. The drink of your choice.
That's right.
Please do. What do you think? Did we look at selfies?
No, I'm going to do that. Did you check?
Well, we're going to check if there are selfies up there. And if you haven't posted them yet, it's your time to do that. Hashtag Blue Wrench Group and add them on Twitter. And we're going to be showing it off during our live stream. So it's never too late to do that. You can always add your own. Yes, of course. There are selfies right there.
Alrighty then. Let's go take a look. Let's see what we got here, guys, going on. We love your selfies, guys. And once again, it's a great place to promote yourself. We don't have self-promotion in the chat, but that changes when you get onto this. So that's a good time to take advantage of it. There you go, guys. We're starting off the night right now with blackjack, and those famous keyboards. That's so cool.
Yes, I love them. I love them so much.
I figured that's what you were going to be asking for.
I don't know where to get it.
Because I'll be the one to have to put it on, and I'll do a horrible job.
I know. So that's why I'm not asking.
Thank you. That's the best Christmas gift I've ever gotten. I love you.
Oh, well, that's awesome. Though I don't have to look for a gift anymore.
There, see, job taken care of. Looking awesome as always.
Wow, this is crazy good. Wow, we used to have this in our summer house. Oh my God, when in 1991 there were tanks coming in, and we ran into summer place to hide from them. That was what we were listening the news from. This type of radio. Can you imagine that? 1991?
I don't know who it is.
Well,
I'll cut your mic for a sec. Sorry, guys. We got a weird number come in on the call, so We are a real family. We're not faking it. We usually don't answer, but because of the number. Alex. Oh my God, look who's here. It's Alejandro Perez. Oh, I'm loving it. Making dinner and hanging out with Pusa Studios and the Blue Wrench. Come and join. You were so awesome, my friend. I miss your selfies. I'm so excited. That's like worth its weight in gold right there. Thank you so very much. Gemma, that is so awesome. So awesome, sweetie. I know it's late for you over there, and for you to be here, smiles and all, and even take the time to put a selfie is just absolutely awesome. Thank you so very much. Great shot. Looking great. Looking great. And there's Dave. There he is. I always love Dave's selfies. Organic gardening.
Oh,
man.
I love how he always incorporates us in it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Love it so much.
Love the stairs shot, getting that infinity stairs thing going.
Yes, that's a really great picture.
You are really talented, my friend. You are really talented. Always such a pleasure. H is a fellow paranormal. When we say incorporate yourself, that's what he always does, and we love him for it. When he changed his logo, what's going to be about a month ago.
Yes, and that's awesome example of how you can promote yourself with your self there, your logo there. And I'm sorry I haven't answered your Twitter yet. I'm getting slowly to them.
I look like I'm praying.
Yes. Are you?
Thanks for catching me at my best. Thanks for catching my best.
Oh my, Ages felt paranormal.
Man.
Thank you so much. Push Studios is awesome. Please support them and smash that like button.
You don't have to do
Thank
that.
you so much, HSFL Paranormal, for supporting us.
You're too kind, man.
Thank you. You're very kind.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Who's your back outdoors? Look at that. There's the wrench, the infamous wrench. Awesome. Absolutely loving it, my friend. Looking great.
By the way, Who's Your Back D was the one who first requested our guest last year.
Oh, really?
Yes, and then we had a couple other requests, and finally we have him on, and
That's
there
right.
he is talking
glory.
about our guest, Scott Donnelly. Hey, we're talking co-host out there. I love that he did the selfie too.
I think that's
awesome.
amazing. I love it. That speaks volumes of character. I can't wait to sit down and talk to him. It's going to be awesome. We're going to bring him on in just a second, guys. Thank you guys so much for everything. Thank you so much for all your support. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for tweeting it out, guys. It's the biggest help we can ask for. It's just keeps us trending. And the more we're trending, the more people come in to find us, and the more people find you. And everything works hand in hand. It's always great when everybody wins. So thank you guys so much for doing your part. We really do appreciate it. Guys, we got 84 in the chat. We got 82 likes. That is so awesome. Did you see Lunatic Dad? Did he come in? I was going to say thank you to him.
No, I didn't see Lunatic Dad. Lunatic Dad. Oh my God. So sorry. So sorry.
He's probably tired. He's recovering right now.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. I
so much love to him.
As much as I would want to see him in a chat, I understand he's probably after a live stream is a bit tired.
Definitely.
And I hope he gets better and better every day.
Thank you guys so much. So once again, guys, we're going to get everything ready. I'm going to pass over to Xenia for a minute. Get our guest in. In the meantime, guys, thank you so much. And if you haven't hit the like button, if you haven't tweeted out, right now we're 14 likes away from 100 already.
And we haven't even really started yet.
Yeah, that's what's
This
so cool
was just the beginning, guys.
Yes.
This was just the beginning.
Yeah, it's going to get better. There's going to be people dropping in all night, so you don't want to go anywhere. There's going to be lots of great conversation and lots of great people to meet as well. So, as we always say, guys, don't be shy to meet each other. Think of it like a comedy club. You're always leaning over talking to somebody the next day. Just please no asking for support, and just keep it kind of a little bit on the down low. Just nothing too over the top. Love having you guys here, and I hope you enjoy your time. I picked my butts here.
Hello.
America versus Australia. Wow, look at all the channels, guys.
Lady Swan, well, hello, everybody who's just joining us right now. You are not too late. We're just about to invite our guest, Scott Donnelly, who has a YouTube channel as well as is a co-host of a podcast. Hey, we're talking, and he's going to be joining us just in a couple of minutes. We're so excited, and hope you enjoy your Friday night chill out with us. It's really relaxing. Our Friday night talks are so relaxing, such a chill for us and hopefully for you guys as well after a long week and holidays ahead. I must say, that can be getting stressful by times too.
Most definitely. But you know what? At least you have little things like tonight to take your mind off of it for a little bit. That's the great thing about it. See, we're a stress reliever.
Well, I hope so. I hope so. I hope we are.
We're like the miracle drug. We're like the Dr. Pepper of the new age right now. We can fix anything. So, and one thing we can fix, guys, is the banter between Xenia and I by bringing a person in to kind of break it up.
I think it's a great idea.
I want to welcome our guest, Scott. How you doing tonight, my friend?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Doing great. Nice to see you in here.
And nice to meet. I'm going to try it. Here we go. You ready? Nice to meet Ksenia. Right? Am I close?
That was perfect.
Okay.
Wow,
your husband let me in on the secret of how to say it properly. So there we go.
Well, I'm impressed. Yeah. Not many people get it from first time like that, and you nailed it.
I think you said it better than I do. So awesome to have you in here tonight. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us.
No problem. I'm really excited about this. I know that we've kind of like gone back and forth a couple of times, and then you know, Danny Black and Mark Ensby and some of these guys were like, you need to get on there. And I was like, well, if they invite me, I'll do it, man. That's cool. I'm in.
It's our pleasure. So
of course.
We're the ones saying thank you tonight. I mean, you are the guest of honor, and we couldn't ask for a better guest. So this is really cool to have you drop by.
That's so kind. Thank you guys so much.
We're literally looking forward to it. And I mean, as we've told you, we're thinking of turning this show into a podcast. So this is a perfect opportunity. I'm trying to pick as many podcasters' brains as possible right now. And we're going to cover that more. But I think we're just going to start off letting you introduce yourself to everybody and a little bit about what you do.
Okay. So I go by Scotty D on the show all the time. I don't know why. I said it one time. Usually I start out the show and I make a mess of it in the beginning. And so I was just like, hey, it's Scotty D. How you doing? And that was kind of just stuck. So I've been saying I'm Scotty D. That stands for Scott Donnelly. And I am from Detroit area in Michigan. And I actually got started in radio in the Detroit area way long time ago. And then I haven't done it for a long time and just decided I want to get back into doing some stuff. And I met a couple of people through YouTube. And the next thing you know, we started doing a podcast. And yeah, it's been fun. So we've been doing the Hey We're Talking podcast for 2 years now. We're just a little over 2 years. And it's fun, man. So I met these guys I went onto YouTube trying to learn how to smoke a pipe, like a tobacco pipe.
Right.
And so I reached out to this one guy and I was like, hey, you know, I'm interested in getting into this pipe smoking thing. And the next thing you know, I met this whole entire group of people on YouTube that were into pipe smoking. And out of that group, I met two guys, Bob Peel and Derek Tant. And somehow, some way, we formed the podcast. We just decided one day, hey, let's do this. Because we would get together and talk online, you know, like in Hangouts and stuff like that. And we would just laugh and laugh, you know, making each other crack up. The next thing you know, we decided to do a podcast. So that's kind of how that happened. And then from there, I just started meeting all sorts of other YouTubers, like Danny Black. I had known. He lived in Michigan. And when he was growing up, I was still an old man to him, but now I'm an even older man. And then from Danny, I've met like a billion Australians. Now I'm friends with all these Australians. And so it's like YouTube is crazy. If people don't understand the community of YouTube, like how fast you can make friends with people, and they're not just like online friends. If you met them in real life, you would instantly be friends with these people. It's just amazing to me that people that don't understand YouTube, how incredibly easy it is to find people that have some of the same interests as you, who are just creative, artistic people that you would love to spend time hanging out with. So that's kind of how this whole thing got started for me, as far as the podcast is concerned, is just meeting people through YouTube.
Isn't that the amazing part of it, especially you being in the media industry and all that? Like YouTube has opened up this whole new realm, this whole new world of possibilities like that.
Yeah.
Where people can just, without having to go through the whole hiring and years, and not knocking what they do. I don't mean to take away from the true professionals. but it gives everybody an opportunity to kind of do their new thing and be heard.
Well, it takes away, here's the thing, like, even in radio, I never got to do what I can do in a podcast setting. Like, the radio jobs that I had, I was supposed to be, I could only talk for like 15 seconds in between songs. And even that, my program director would be like, you said too much, you waited too long. And I was like, no, I would find the song that had like a 30-second intro and I would stretch that 15 out to 45 seconds. And he was like, yeah, you're talking too much in between breaks. And you only get to talk, maybe 3 times an hour at a radio station. So it was like, I never really got the opportunity to have a chance to just talk and say what's on my mind and stuff like that. Even when I did a morning show, you still had, he was like 3 minutes. You can do little 3-minute bits, like 2 or 3 an hour. And that's the end of it. And I was just kind of like, this is boring, man. Who wants to sit there and listen to music and try and talk for 3 minutes without getting to really say anything? So
that's a very good point. Never thought of that before. Because you always think of a DJ. I mean, his greatest gift is his voice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all the impact. That's what sells. I'm assuming that's what makes a good DJ and a great DJ. That's what separates them.
Yeah.
And it's such a limited area. You actually get to use your craft.
Yeah. And now in radio, most of the places that are more modern as far as like the equipment and stuff they use, usually you just come in and you just track. So what that means is you come in and you sit down and there's like 3 or 4 little breaks within the hour. You sit down in front of a microphone, you do your little thing, they put it into a computer. You don't even run. Nobody's even in front of the microphone anymore with the music and stuff. I mean, you're doing other things like producing commercials and stuff like that for your job, but you come in and you track stuff instead of even being there live. Now there's places that still do live, but that's where it's going, is at the point where you're just going to like come in and drop a couple of lines every day of things that you're going to do in each hour and you're done.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a little weird thing. It's kind of crazy.
Do you never did talk radio, that type of show? It was mostly like top 40 stuff, or?
It was all music related. Yeah. I did one on this really small radio station for free, by the way. I did it because I wanted to be able to have fun. I did like a sports talk show.
Okay.
And it didn't last. I mean, it was like the station was like going under and stuff like that. So it was kind of weird. But I just did that on the side just for fun because I wanted to be able to talk and have fun.
I keep picturing like some sort of WKRP setup at that one like that. I just keep thinking like Les Nessman coming in between and stuff like that.
You know what's so funny is like that. I look back as a kid, I can remember watching that show and really being like, man, I want to be in radio someday. And then there were some other people in my life that I heard on the radio that I got really excited about. There was these guys in the Detroit area that were like the morning show guys, Drew and Mike.
Right.
And they would just make me laugh and laugh and laugh. And they actually had a commercial on after my wife and I got married. They had a commercial on during their show for this place called Specs Howard School of Broadcasting.
Okay.
And I came home and I told my wife, because I was in this terrible job, I hated it. And I was like, babe, I want to go back to school. So I went back and got a degree in broadcasting and then got a job right even before school finished. Actually, I got done. It was like a tech school. Got a job and did radio for like 6 years. And then I got tired of that because, again, you're just doing like, 30 seconds every time you get a chance to talk.
Yeah.
So I decided to go do some stand-up comedy, and that was fun too. I did that and then improv comedy. So I that's kind of my thing. I just like to, talk and make people laugh. So that's the goal.
Sorry, I just noticed Ghost Mafia wrote in here, hell, Drew and Mike in the morning. I love that show. So there, somebody knew it.
Oh, yeah, dude. Drew and Mike was so great. In fact, one of the guys that was on the show just passed away not that long ago. He was pretty young, too. So it was kind of a surprise. It was a big deal. They still have a podcast that they do here in Detroit called the Drew and Mike Podcast. And yeah, it's good stuff, man. I have a lot of great memories from it because it was like when I was just getting out of high school,
right?
And it was great. It was a good show.
Well, that was something.
It's funny that somebody knows it. That's
yeah,
great.
No, that's why I said usually we're like Xenia's taking care of the chat, but I see that one. I said I'll have to let them know that. So
yeah,
I had looked into going to radio. I played music a lot when I was growing up. I was a guitar player, then a drummer, and I looked into radio, and it was in Ottawa, which is in Ontario, and in Quebec they have a very. It's so cheap to go to school here, and it's amazing. People still protest because even at the price it's at.
Yeah.
And to go to Ottawa would have cost like tenfold. And here in Quebec, the only ones I could find at the time were French. There was no internet in, the early 90s. And that's exactly why I wanted to get into it, was shows like WKRP and my love for music and thinking, this might be an in for me somewhere down the road.
Yeah.
And I kind of regretted sometimes not going through with it. But you made a good point about that short blurbs that you get, such little time to do it.
Now on WKRP, man, they made it look so much fun because in between talking on the radio, there was all sorts of great stuff going on. Yeah. But the truth of the matter is, like, especially if you're not on during like the daytime, like one of my first jobs, it was like later on in the night and there's nobody there. I mean, it's just you. You're just sitting in this little tiny studio with a microphone and these little carts to play commercials and stuff and CDs and stuff. And that's it. So I got some crazy stories about working at radio stations. You
weren't like Johnny, what was his name? Not Johnny Fever.
Johnny Fever. No, that was him.
He was the morning guy, but the guy at night, Venus Flytrap.
Yeah, Venus Flytrap.
Sitting there playing the chimes and everything, and the brothers and sisters, this time the gong and everything. Yeah.
All that stuff, like you look back on that, like everybody, and this is not me picking on younger people, but I just want to say they're never going to be able to experience any of that stuff. Like when we had radio stations back in the day, people did weird stuff like that. Like there was a guy in Detroit that was like this. He played on, I think it was called Pillow Talk. And it was all these songs for girls. And he had this really, like, they're all romantic, love songs and stuff. He had this really super deep voice and he would talk to the ladies and my wife, I asked her the other day, I was like, do you listen to that? And she was like, oh my gosh, every girl my age listened to that. So that's like different now. I don't think there's anybody like that anymore. They just play the stuff and say, hey, go to Kroger or whatever grocery stores in your area.
Exactly.
Commercials, that's it.
And some even syndicate enough that they're getting it from a central location, right? And they're even doing the voiceovers for like multiple cities.
Yeah. Yeah. So syndication's like a whole other beast, but those people, they're making huge money. Like if you're out there and you're thinking about getting into radio, I have to tell you something. If you don't want to make any money, you should go into radio. If you want to be poor for the rest of your life, unless you're Howard Stern or something,
right?
You might as well just realize you're not going to make a lot of money in radio. And you're going to have to move somewhere that you don't want to live.
Yeah.
One of the first jobs that I got offered was in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, where they get like 10 feet of snow every year. So my wife didn't want to go there. I don't know why, but she didn't want to go. So there you go.
But that's it. It's like anything else when you first start, especially in those jobs, you never know where you're going.
Yeah.
It could be anywhere.
Yep.
But I guess that's the price you pay for it, and the romance of it. I mean, a lot of jobs are like that. When you first start off, you can get put anywhere, and I mean, it definitely needs some love into it. I mean, I think we all hope that when we were going into radio, I know mine was kind of hoping it'd be like the backstage of a Motley Crue concert.
Yeah,
it's always gonna be wild, and like, hey Mick, like passing in the slide, the romanticized version of it.
Yeah, and you have opportunities like that, but you gotta, again, it's just like you were saying though, you pay your dues and you move up, and hopefully you get some breaks along the way and you get to do something awesome. So yeah, but I just ended up kind of like I wasn't going anywhere in radio, so I just decided to take a drastic turn and go stand up on a stage in front of a bunch of people I didn't know and try to make them laugh. And that was exhilarating. That was fun. I gotta say, that was one of the best things I've ever done in my whole life.
What was the first time?
Yeah.
Like how did you feel and how did it go? The very first time you got to do that.
The first time I did it, I got up on stage and I was, you're terrified too, right? Like for me, especially, I'm like one of those people that when you're really nervous, like you have to go to the bathroom really bad right before you're supposed to do whatever you're supposed to do. So I was always terrified, like I was going to have to go to the bathroom during the middle of it. But anyway, I went to the bathroom, of course, and then I got up on stage, and you don't remember much of it.
Yeah.
I got down, I went home. It was really late at night. I think I got home at like 2:30 or 3 in the morning, and I woke my wife up and I said, I've never felt so alive in my life. Like I told her this, I found exactly what I want to do with the rest of my life. That's what I told her. It was great.
What a rush.
Not many people get to say that.
Exactly.
It was great. It was so fun. It was such a good thing. And then that led me into meeting people through comedy, led me into the improv comedy stuff. And that was even more fun. I mean, that's like completely even, I think that's even better than stand-up.
Well, we had a Michael Price on the other night, and he's the writer for The Simpsons and everything, and that's where he got his start off, was in doing improv, and that he was telling us about it. And he seems to have such a love affair when he was talking about it.
Yeah, and everybody does. Like Don Jameson is also a comedian.
Yes, that's
he does
true.
the same thing, and he was also like. It seems like everybody are so into it. The ones who actually got to do it are so into it, and to me, it sounds so scary.
And my question to you is why? I want to ask you that. Why?
So improv, like, so I went to, in Detroit, they used to have, I don't know if, I think you'll know what this is, but they had a Second City in Detroit.
Yeah.
So I was at Second City for like 2.5 years, and that was just some of the most amazing experiences of my life. I think the thing with improv comedy that's so awesome is, like, when you do stand-up, and you'll hear this if you talk to other stand-up comedians that are really, really famous, and, you know, they take their words and they're very much crafted and put into, I mean, they really hammer it down so that it's like, they know exactly when to say this word. They know exactly how to say a word. It's very rehearsed. It's very structured.
Right.
Improv is completely out of your head. I mean, you nothing is planned out. Improv is literally just like exactly what it means. Improvisational. You're just doing whatever happens in the moment. And you're doing it with other people. You're usually working together with other people, which makes it so great. And that's part of the thing I love about doing the podcast and about doing stuff with other people, where I get to interview people for the podcast and stuff like that. It's just like, you just get to have a conversation. That's like when we were talking before, Andrew, before we started this, I just said, hey man, let's just have a conversation. We don't have to plan anything out. It's so, you find that great things happen when you don't have, I mean, listen, there's a place for planning. I get it. There's a place for it.
Yeah.
But it's sometimes what just happens out of natural conversation, relationship, you come away with some of the greatest things you'll ever experience. And I think improv comedy especially is like that. You're just in the moment. There's no thinking about what's happening. You're completely out of your head.
I agree. And it's funny for me when I say that, because I'm usually more of a person that likes things in order. I like things scheduled. But when it comes to talking to somebody, I like that more relaxed fit. Yeah. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel, and you kind of lead people where they need to go without them ever realizing it. A good, we were saying the other night, a bouncer once told me a good bouncer will throw somebody to the bar without them ever even realizing they were taken out. And I believe that comes with conversation hosting too. You shouldn't be like, no, we're going to talk about this first. No, you slowly get them back to where you want them.
Right.
But let them lead some, because you want, that's when people tell their best stories, is when they're not being like constrained.
Right. When you see somebody who's really good, like I think of, I didn't mean to bring him up this many times, but I like think of Howard Stern. He really gets people to talk about things that they probably would never talk about in real life, because he just lets the conversation kind of flow. Yeah. And he takes them to where he wants to take them without them really knowing that he's going to take them there. Does that make sense?
100%.
Yes.
And people have really, when a lot of times they say, oh, I don't want to talk about that tonight, a lot of times they actually do.
Yeah.
They just want to feel comfortable when they do it.
Exactly,
you know,
exactly.
It's basically their own truth serum. They don't even realize yet that they do want to speak about it.
That's like, I don't know if you guys watch the show. Do you ever watch the show Hot Ones on YouTube, where they eat the hot wings?
Oh, yes.
That's exactly what's so great about that show, is these people come in there and I don't, you know, Sean's the host of the show. Sean's not like this person that's really super probing. Nope. He comes really prepared. He has lots of great stuff to talk about. But the thing that puts those people in a different place where they just talk about things they would never talk about is because they're so concentrated on not burning the flesh off of their face with those wings. You know, it just puts you in this place where you're I think it knocks them off, like their balance is off. Like they're not thinking like, hey, I'm going to make sure when we talk, I don't say anything about this or do that. They're eating those hot wings and they're just like, my gosh, this is so freaking hot.
Yeah.
And then he asks them a question, they're not ready for it, and they just answer it, which is awesome.
It takes the filter away for sure.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I was saying that to my friend the other week, it's kind of like he's almost giving them alcohol in a way. It gives the same effect. The inhibitions tend to fade because they have something else impairing that judgment.
Probably even more because they're not prepared of how to handle it.
Yes, exactly.
Because they most likely haven't experienced it before.
That's one of those shows you look at and it's like, why didn't I ever think of that? This makes so much sense. And look at the stars are just clamoring to be on it now.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what's even more crazy is to see the people that are now coming on the show.
Yes.
Watched it for a long time and you see where it's come. It's like, wow, this is amazing. And I think he said something the other day about trying to get Will Smith. I bet you Will Smith will eventually.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, especially after the whole tie-in with YouTube and stuff like that.
Yep. Yeah,
he's looking for something to bring himself down to more of the YouTubers.
Yeah,
and that's a perfect gateway into it. So I agree with you. I think it will happen.
That'll be interesting. That one will be fun to watch.
Yep. And he's already had some big names. Like it's not like he's bringing nobody to the list. He's had some.
Oh no, I know.
Oh yeah, some A-listers for sure.
Portfolio grows and grows. Some of them like what's her name from Power there.
Yeah, Cookie from the Power TV show.
Oh, she was like, she was pretty well lit by the time she, that was so hard to watch. Oh, can't we have another drink? And she's like telling them to bring her another drink, and you can see his eyes like, oh, I could just picture what was going on in his head through the whole thing. Let's just like, then you become a ringleader almost instead of a host. He did it though. He pulled it off again on that one.
Yeah, he's really good at that.
Yep.
He does a great job of hosting that show for sure. I just feel bad for him to think that he has to eat those wings every single time.
I wonder what his
left. Yeah, I know. I was going to say, I wonder what his body goes through.
He says there are no tricks, but there must be something because I mean, sometimes he doesn't even make a face or anything, when they do show, and it's crazy. It's like an Iron Man.
But on a Q&A one, he mentioned part of it was that they didn't. He said he still burns them sometimes, but he doesn't want the camera on them. Yeah, because he realized early on it should be about the guest, not him.
Yeah, and
he said they grow tired of it if they see him like every week, like looking about to die. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a really, really cool concept. I gotta say, very impressive. So, what is it you like on YouTube? What is it like when you watch, or what you like about it? What kind of?
I think I probably, as far as YouTube is concerned, for me, I just think I enjoy the fact that a lot of the people that I like are just themselves. Like, it's not a scripted. I mean, I know people still do that. Like they have, vlogs that they script and stuff like that. But I like when people really, really show themselves and we get to know who they are. Mm-hmm. I'm really drawn to that because I like creating relationships with people and getting to know people. So when I can watch that on YouTube, that's part of the thing I think that makes YouTube so special is you actually feel like some of these people when you don't. There's people that have, you look at a guy like Casey Neistat. I'm probably never going to meet Casey Neistat, but I like the guy. Like if I met him, I would feel like I sort of know him unless he's totally, faking it, which I don't think he can do based on how long he's been doing it. Yeah. I think it would be very difficult for him to put up a fake persona for that long and not screw up. But people like that, you get a look into their lives and they do it in such a creative way. You just feel like them. And I think that's what I like about YouTube. Even the guy from Unbox Therapy, Lou.
Mm-hmm. Oh, love that.
I love him, man. Yeah. I just like, sometimes I'll just watch one of his videos and I won't even be interested in what he's reviewing, but I just love his personality. I just have so much fun just listening to him talk and the way he acts and stuff. It's just fun. I mean, that's really what YouTube is for me. That's why I'm interested in it. It's just a place where it gives people the opportunity who wouldn't have the opportunity in traditional media to be able to just be themselves. And it's wildly, it's so successful. Yes. I mean, YouTube, I can't even imagine if I went back like 10 or 15 years, if somebody told me that this was a thing, I would just be like, there's no way this is happening.
Yeah.
But it's given people like you guys and everybody else that's on YouTube, it's given them a platform, and especially, you know, just the internet in general. I mean, look at the stuff that we can do now. I mean, I'm sitting here in Detroit. You guys are in Canada and Quebec area. How is this, you know, think about that. Even 10 years ago, you'd kind of be like, well, you know, we'll see what we can do. Who knows what we'd be on Skype or something like that. Now we're using OBS and Nemo and all these different things. And, you know, the technology is just amazing.
I agree with you. It's a technological feat going on right at this moment. We're doing a whole broadcast studio out of 2 houses, and the whole world is part of it.
Yeah.
And it's really effortless. I mean, you can
it
do
is.
it with Hangouts and be on in 3 minutes and have a live stream open to the world.
Yeah. And anybody can do it.
Yep.
That's the greatest thing. You don't have to have much. You can get away with, you know, having a computer and maybe putting your headphones on that have a little mic attached to it, and you're good to go.
That's right. It's changed the whole way we all look at the world.
Yeah.
And I love what you said about connecting with people. I've been saying that to a lot of the guests as we talk. I do believe in the early 2000s we got a taste of reality TV and quickly realized it was not.
Yeah.
But it lit a fire in people's brains, and they've been waiting ever since for that chance to get what they were promised back then. And I really think YouTube is finally giving them that. It's a chance for real, unscripted interaction between people.
And I can't lie. My dirty little secret is I do love some reality shows. I'm not going to lie.
What's some of your favorite?
Oh, boy. Okay.
If you're going to open it up.
We really want to go down this road.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, listen. So I'm 46. Yeah, man, I'm 46 years old. Dear Lord. Okay, I'm 46. And so I grew up on MTV, right? And so Real World, Road Rules, those were my jam back then. Now, these days they do this thing called the challenge, and it's all the people that have been on like Real World, Road Rules. They don't do those anymore, but some of the old people are still on it, which is crazy. Wow. But it's almost like a Survivor type of a show, but it's like, you know, it's MTV's version of Survivor. And, you know, it's so bad because it's just basically like a bunch of people drinking and getting in fights and then doing challenges and stuff. And, you know, but I'm a sucker for that. Like we just watched, my wife and I still watch Survivor to this day. I love Survivor. And then we started getting into some of these shows on Bravo. I don't know if you guys have that in Canada.
Yeah, that's actually a Canadian channel, Bravo.
Oh, okay.
Or it was before. Now maybe it got sold, but yeah.
But they have this show that we just started watching. It's so stupid. It's so dumb that I like it. But it's these people who are like in their 30s who are like professionals and stuff who are taking 3 weeks off of work and going on a sailboat all over the Bahamas. And of course, they're just getting drunk and getting in fights and stuff too, but they're 30 and they're like lawyers and doctors and stuff.
I seen that somewhere the other week. We seen that on YouTube or something. Maybe it was clips or something somebody's showing. Yes.
It's called Unanchored.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's just
the name.
One girl had a staph infection on her butt and everything else and all this stuff. And all this. That was the grossest thing. Yeah, I was like, God. She's like, I know you. I remember you. You were partying. You had this. And they showed up.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. It's nuts. So some of that stuff I like. I don't like the Real Housewives ones. I've never gotten into that. Mm-hmm. But some of them are just interesting to me. I don't know why. I'm a sucker for that stuff. Can't help
I'm glad you opened up about it.
Well, I think most of the people do like them. Yeah. It's just very few actually say that they do.
That's right. It's a dirty secret show.
It's a dirty secret, yeah. You know, because otherwise there wouldn't be so many of them. There must be ratings over the roof, right? So.
It's like admitting that you eat McDonald's sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Guilty pleasure, you know.
It's always like when people say, oh, we could get McDonald's, and everybody in the room goes, oh, no, I don't eat McDonald's, you know? And then you're like, well, they've had, you know, it's like Jim Gaffigan, the comedian, always says, you know, there's 1 billion served, so somebody's eating McDonald's.
Well, yeah, it must be somewhere. Exactly.
Well, now, have you heard of this new thing that now the suggested, portion of French fries is 6 French fries?
What?
Yeah.
That's not even fair.
I mean,
why would
who
you
is
6 French
getting
fries?
McDonald's and then taking 6 French fries out of there to eat it? Like, I mean, you gotta be nuts, you know?
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody. I mean, There's a reason they have a supersize, not for 6 fries.
Exactly.
That's the one with 9 now.
I want to have 6 fries and supersize that one.
Yes. And I would like the pickle off the Big Mac, please.
Yeah.
I feel a little hungry today.
I feel like if they start doing it where it's just like 6 fries, I think what would I probably have to end up getting like 10 French fries with each one.
Yeah, on the fence there. 10, there might be too much there. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm actually saying 10 orders of fries. I want 60 fries total.
And I was with you. Yeah, exactly. And even then I feel a little gypped. But
I know. Somebody needs to find out how many fries are in in a supersized fry, like a large fry or something like
Roy
that.
Parman says 6 French fries, not even enough for the seagulls in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that means 6 fries out of your kids when you're finished yours. You're back.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine if you're if you go pick up for the family at the drive-thru and you're driving home, you always eat some of the French fries on the way home.
Oh, definitely. That
means there's none left when you get home. If it's 6 fries in each package, you're done. They're all gone for sure.
Exactly. But the thing is that they put their, whatever, calculating the calories, they're going to put according to the portion, and portion will be 6 fries.
They're going to be like, McDonald's French fries are only 50 calories. You only eat 6 fries, but it's 50 calories.
Exactly.
And when they change the fries to like apple wedges and kids meals and everything.
Yeah.
Who goes for apple slices?
McDonald's has changed up the healthy portions. Now you get a bowl of air. That's right, folks. You're getting a bowl of air with your meal. You get a Happy Toy and a bowl of air.
I would be upset if they did the apple slices because that's not keto friendly. That's sugar, man.
That's right.
You can't be on keto and have apple slices.
Exactly.
Come on, McDonald's.
That's right. Get with the program.
Exactly. They should get on trend, I think.
Oh my gosh, this is fun.
Yeah.
You guys are making me laugh.
Oh, well, if we can't do anything else tonight, if we made you laugh, then we did. That's all we're asking for. So
I don't even remember what you asked me. Now I took it way off track. Sorry about that.
Well, that's where we wanted to go. So that's
Okay,
where I was leading you there. I had this planned all along. I wanted to get the. I was going to 6
scripted,
French fries for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
If that was your plan, man, you're really good.
I thought that's what you have to do in radio. Always make it sound like you did have it planned out. That's part of the interviews.
Yeah.
I guess, though, that we'll start about your podcast a little bit because I want
Sure.
people to hear about it. And I think a lot of people here are kind of, because podcasts have had a resurgence.
Yeah.
It's kind of like podcasts that kind of fade away. YouTube was going to be everything, and now podcasts are coming back.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are starting to say, you know what, it would be nice to have another platform. So maybe a little bit just about a podcast in general. Talk about yours, and then maybe you can tell us a little bit about making one.
Okay. Well, let me say this first. The podcast that we do on YouTube, Hey, We're Talking, we literally, I think we have maybe like 230 subscribers. I mean, it's minuscule. Okay. So the thing I would say is, like, when you were talking in the beginning about people who were like, I lost 408 subscribers, which is huge. I was like, I don't even have 408 subscribers. I think part of it is because we're just sitting there, talking, and people are like, why would I want to watch that on YouTube? We do have people that just listen to the podcast, obviously, but on YouTube, for some reason, we've never really caught on. So I don't know what the deal is with that. But we've been doing it for 2 years, and I love it. I'm not going to stop. I don't care. I mean, I really don't care how many people are on there. I just want people to know it's very small. There's not a ton of people on YouTube that are subscribed to us. But we've gone through some different changes and things like that. There was a time where we did 3 shows a week, and they were an hour long, and then the guys were like, hey, let's back it down a little bit. Because the 2 guys I do the show with, they've got full-time jobs and stuff. I've got tons of time. I just do, podcasting and being on other people's podcasts and all that kind of stuff like crazy. So I do whatever I want. And my wife, I love my wife. She has a real solid job where she makes lots of money. So I can kind of live the bohemian lifestyle a little bit by doing podcasting and stuff. But yeah, she's awesome. I've been married to her for 25 years, love of my life. So
congratulations
great.
to you both.
Cheryl, I love you. Thank you so much.
Wow,
so
nice.
The Hey We're Talking podcast has gone through a lot of different changes, but we're now doing 3 shows I do a week with Bob and Derek, who are the original guys. And then 2 shows a week, I just interview anybody that I want, do anything I want. Because I told those guys I wanted to go 5 days a week. And they were like, nope, that's too much. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go 5 days a week. And I hope that's okay with you. And they're like, yeah, totally do it, man. So that's what we're doing now. And we just talk about anything and everything. It's pretty lighthearted. We usually argue quite a bit, but like in a fun way. Like, we pick on each other and stuff like that.
Banter.
Yeah, we do have some banter. Usually they make fun of me for my gray hair and my white beard, being old. They were giving me a really hard time the other day about my dad said something about the podcast. My dad listens to the podcast and gives me tips now and again, which is always fun when your dad tells you how to do the podcast.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so like, listen, here's the thing. We don't swear on the podcast, but like in real life, I swear. And my parents think that's terrible. They're very sad that their son swears, but I'm like, look, I swear. Okay. I do. And so these guys were making fun of me. They're like, oh yeah, Scott swears like a sailor. And I'm like, no, I don't. I swear, but I don't swear like a sailor. So we go back and forth. It's basically just fun. We talk about fun topics. Bob especially likes to talk about very weird news stories. He likes to bring up stuff that's very strange, like maybe having 6 French fries at McDonald's and stuff like that.
That's going to be the
that's
next
right.
one.
Yeah. So it's just, listen, the whole point is our show, we try to keep our podcast to about 20 minutes. I would go for hours, just like you guys. I would go forever. I would love that. But Bob likes the idea of it being like 20 minutes so that if you get in your car to go to work, you flip it on. By the time you get to work, the podcast's done, right?
Right.
So that's the idea behind it. So we do it 5 days a week. And then I supplement by being part of other people's stuff, like with you guys and Danny Black and Mark Ensby and all these other Australians. They keep letting me do stuff with them. So that's what I do.
That's so cool. And what you like working with Danny?
Yeah. So Danny, just to give you a little insight, Danny, his dad was a minister at a church that I was working at. And he was in he was like a teenager. So he was like 15 or 16 years old when I was working in like the youth group there. And he was a real pain in the butt when he was a young guy, obviously, because that's how all guys are. We're all kind of jerks when we're young.
Yep.
And so all these years later, I started seeing him. I started kind of doing YouTube and meeting people through YouTube. And all of a sudden I start seeing Danny Black is doing YouTube videos. And I'm like, what in the heck? Is that the same Danny Black? So I start watching his videos, start commenting on them. He didn't even know it was me. He was like, oh, thanks for stopping by, Ramblin' Scott. It was really cool. And I was like, okay, cool. Hey, Danny, it's me. Oh, I don't know who you are. Okay, great. So finally I was just like, yo, Danny, this is Scott, like from Michigan, dude. He was like, what? And so I got him to come on to Hey We're Talking a bunch of times. And we just started like hanging out and laughing and stuff. And then Danny just like started introducing me to all these people like Ben on from Gives a Minute.
Yes.
And Mark and, like Jay Boston and Scott Muir and Gina Walters. Like I just interviewed Gina last week. She's going to be on this week on our podcast.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know if you guys know Gina. She's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like she's the greatest.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be like all the people I talked about before. Don't be mad. But Gina is just like, she's so cool.
Yeah.
I love her. And this week I talked to Emma Black, Hip Hoop Hooray.
Wife, yeah.
She was incredible. I mean, everybody's always like, it's usually her in the background helping Danny with his live streams and like, doing stuff like that. Emma talked about how she got into hula hooping and like different stuff. And it was fantastic just sitting there, just talking with her, getting to know her.
She's awesome. So,
yeah, she's incredible. I mean, Danny's so lucky, dude. So lucky, Danny. But anyway, so that's kind of where Hey We're Talking is as a podcast. It's just fun, man. We just like to have fun and make people laugh. And if we can do that, for us, I think one of the things that Bob and I and Derek too talk about is it's just nice to have fun, especially in the world that we live in right now. We're just bombarded with like crap all the time.
So true.
There's a lot of bad stuff going on. And, you know, I don't think like it's really that we're that much worse than we've ever been. I think it's that we hear about everything.
We're exposed to a lot more than we ever were. 24
hours a day. Yep. All you hear is how bad everything is on the news. And it's like, that's why I just, you know, I'm really Bob gives me a hard time for this. I'm into politics and stuff like that, but I've just turned the news off. I'm done. I can't deal with it anymore because it's just negative 24/7.
And it's not just negative news. The problem is everything is so fast now. We're getting so much.
Yeah.
And this is not a dig at Trump. Don't turn into anybody at home. Don't turn. We're getting so much false news. It's just nothing but assumptions now. There's nothing written in stone.
Yeah.
If somebody sneezes the wrong way, they turn it. And if it doesn't work out, oh, well, we were just misinformed. They move on like nothing happened. Even though they had the city turned up on its heels for 24 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually was just watching this thing today. Ethan and Ela from H3.
Yes.
H3. Did you watch that thing about Seinfeld?
I did. I
was just kind of like, part of me is just like, I think that's part of the thing for me too, is like, I look at something like that and I'm like, and Ethan nailed it. It's like, dude, it's a joke. Yep. Like Seinfeld was a comedy, guys. Yep. I mean, you gotta laugh sometimes. There's a reason that when something's a little uncomfortable, you laugh. It's because there's some truth to even the things that make us uncomfortable. That's why our reaction is to laugh a little bit, because it makes you go, oh crap, I actually kind of think some of that stuff sometimes. What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, but I'm glad that's when you're talking about YouTube. I'm glad that I know YouTube shut some stuff down, but I'm glad that there's people like Ethan out there confronting some of this stuff, because it's crazy.
Yep.
It's insane.
Yep. I agree. Well, we had a guest on here, Doug Tenaple, who created Earthworm Jim, the video game.
Yeah.
And how I met him, long story in 20 seconds. One night I seen a live stream and there was this whole group of these artists drawing. I don't follow it. It just kind of came in my feed. Ended up there belonged to a thing called Comic Gate, they call it.
Yeah.
And they were pegged with it, and they've all left all these big companies like Pixar and Marvel and all of them because they feel that the PC movement has become so harsh on them. There's no more creation left within anything.
Yeah.
And it's not to pick on anything. Then they get, of course, labeled, oh, you're bigots, you're this, you're that. They're like, no, there's black people in here. There's gay people in here. We're all. But we're just tired of every time we do something, we got to follow this rule. Like, oh, I got a guy and he saved a girl. No, well, we're going to make her Hispanic. We're going to make her from a woman and 3 kids. You know, and they're just like tear the story to pieces.
Yeah.
And that's what's hurting. It's not that you don't want that stuff included, but it just seems there's no freedom anymore to tell a joke, to do anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've got to figure out, I mean, I think like the pendulum's going to swing again at some point. Yes. I mean, I think we're kind of in that right now. You know, that's, to me, that's part of the reason that a guy like Donald Trump even got to be president, is there's all this stuff that's so politically correct that a bunch of people were like, I've had it. I'm going to vote for the guy that fired people on TV.
Yes, exactly. It became a farce. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Now he fires them in real life. So why everybody's so surprised?
Exactly.
Sorry.
You know, who's the guy that you said from The Simpsons and F is for Family?
Michael Price.
Okay, Mike, I love F is for Family, by the way. But I will just tell everybody, if you think that you're going to be watching a family show, I have kind of sad news for you. You're going to be freaked out when you watch it.
Oh, yeah, it's quite the opposite.
Yeah, in every sense of the word. That's what we asked him. We said, how do you write when you jump away from The Simpsons and go there? Like, how do you even get your head in the right frame for both shows? You know? Yeah.
It's the thing that's refreshing about it, though, is like, you know, my dad was not like that. Yeah. Like my dad wasn't, he didn't scream at me all the time. But when I was growing up, you know, I was born in 1972, so in the 70s, and, you know, things were a little different. You know, your dad would call you an idiot or tell you you're a moron or something like that. Yeah. And I think that's part of the reason that like shows like the Goldbergs, and there's this new show on ABC called The Kids Are All Right. It takes place in the 70s. Some of these shows, I think, they're giving people an opportunity to see that, hey, you know, our dads yelled at us or our moms, smacked us in the head every once in a while, and we didn't, turn into complete idiots.
Yes.
We're okay. We made it. We didn't die.
Yeah.
Everything's okay. People called us names sometimes, and we lived.
Yeah.
I think some of these shows are becoming so popular and are hitting a nerve because there's a bunch of people that are like, man, was my upbringing like completely weird? Or, but it's not. It's not. You go through things, and not everything that happens to us when we're kids is good, obviously. But if you make it out the other side, right? If you can look back and say, hey, I survived.
Yeah.
And you can deal with some of the things that might be bad in your life and move forward. I think that's the key, though. Can you take something and go, okay, that sucked, what happened to me, but what am I going to do? Am I going to sit here and just be sad about it all the time? Or am I going to go move forward? Yeah. If you're moving forward, even if it's by little steps, that's the best thing you can do, right? You got to keep going.
And it's funny the contrast into it. I never thought of this the other night when I was talking to him. He's with the Simpsons, right? And he didn't start right at the beginning, but he's been with them a long time. And then he's with F is for Family. And if you think about it, the Simpsons, not as extreme, but there was a ton of controversy when they came out.
Oh, yeah.
They were one of the pendulum swingers. And it was over stuff like Eat My Shorts, and that was getting you know, Nancy Reagan writing letters to them and stuff like that. Actually writing letters to Marge, which got even stranger. Which is a whole other kettle of fish. And like Married with Children and Archie Bunker. I mean, those were all pendulum swinging shows after a while.
Yeah, and that's the whole point, like when Ethan was talking about Seinfeld today.
Yeah.
Seinfeld is not like, you didn't look at Jerry Seinfeld and George and these guys and go, oh, I'm glad they're setting a good example for me. No, you laughed because they were weird, crazy people. Yep. They obsessed about very small things and picked on people and pointed out things about people that they didn't like.
And all these things. Look at their last episode. Their famous last episode, whether you liked it or not, too, was all about them realizing once and for all just what kind of horrible people they were. It was celebrating it with everybody that they ever wronged came back to tell them.
Yeah. And even after that, they were still just kind of sitting in the cell, like started complaining about people again. Right. I mean, nothing changed.
No, exactly.
That's the thing. Like, comedy is, I wouldn't say that comedy has to teach you, but the whole point is it points out the absurdity of life. It shows you, it's taking a mirror to society and going, hey, here's something that's really strange about the place in which we live.
Yeah.
And laughing about it.
Definitely. I mean, comedy loves tragedy. You need that tragedy to have good comedy. I mean, that's been a rule of thumb for the last how many hundreds of years? In plays and everything has been based on that whole philosophy, and it is true. I mean, look at any show you can think of was always a tragedy happened to be funny.
Yeah, we were actually talking about on Hey We're Talking. We did an episode where we were like, what sitcom would you like to remake? And Three's Company was one of the ones that I thought of right away.
Yeah, but
I was like, it wouldn't be controversial now. Like, there'd be nothing about it that anybody would blink an eye at.
It would be boring to them.
Yeah.
It'd be whatever.
Yeah. I mean, and when I was a little kid, when that came out, I didn't understand anything that was happening on that show.
Yeah.
I just laughed because Jack would fall down and do crazy stuff, right? I didn't understand that, it was this guy living with two women pretending to be gay.
Yeah, exactly.
I had no idea. I didn't think... no idea about that. I was just a kid.
And Mr. Furley with faces and Mr. Roper yelling at the wife and stuff like that. I mean, it was like Simpsons, they have that.
Yeah.
Like, if you're older, you got the adult humor. If you're younger, Homer falls down and goes boom. And it's something for everybody in that show.
Exactly.
And it was kind of edgy when it came out. I mean, Christina McKinney, like, as you get older and look back, because I was born in 74, so we're around the same time.
Yeah.
And only later on watching it when people were like, and we remember the third episode and we wanted to put Chrissy in a bathing suit and the censors and everything else.
Yeah. Hey, and I'm not going to lie. Even when I was a little kid, I remember looking at Chrissy and going, wow, she's nice.
I can't argue with that one. She warmed the cockles of many a heart.
She did. Oh my gosh.
And it's funny, the writing back then. Like, now you go back though and watch some shows, like, and I was never a big fan, but like, Who's the Boss? They were so corny. Like, I remember not liking them much when I was younger. I watched it because everybody else did at school. They taught They were horrible.
Yeah. And the funny thing is like they keep remaking this stuff. Like, I mean, I don't even know if the shows were that good when they came out that they're remaking, like Magnum PI and stuff. I mean, I know as a kid, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
But if you try and go back and watch some of that stuff, you're just like, oof.
A-Team is a good one. That is just, you might as well leave your brain at home, you know?
I know.
The worst one is and then the Dukes of Hazzard. I watched it with my kids.
Gosh. Yeah.
Squealing in swamps and all this stuff.
Yeah. It's pretty stupid. Yeah. We were entertained by some pretty dumb stuff. But in our defense, there were only 3 channels.
Yes. We didn't get a lot to pick from. So, yes, I agree 100%.
Now that you guys have, like, I don't know, you have 500 channels on your cable and then, you know, Netflix and Hulu and
there's almost too much stuff to watch. Like even when Netflix just started, it was like, oh, you know, it's exciting. Some things come up, you know, you're gonna watch the next one. Now it's like it's oversaturated. YouTube does its own stuff. Amazon does its own stuff. Netflix like makes new things every day now. Yeah, you know, it's like like you just give up at the end. It's like, nah, there's so much to watch. Let's just not watch anything.
Val's Life says she's watching the Waltons again.
Oh gosh, I bet that's terrible. the thing I do like about like Netflix and Amazon and all these people making stuff is like there's more. It's almost like if you just throw tons of stuff at the wall and hope something sticks. Every once in a while, a really good show makes it through. That's the only thing I like about it. But you're right. There's a lot of terrible stuff that they make.
But can I play devil's advocate on it for a second?
Yeah.
I do believe that we are in a golden age of entertainment. The simple reason is we're going to lose a lot of the 1%ers that were in everything. But we have such a wide, and this goes to music as well, thank you to the internet, such a wide array of middles.
Yeah.
Because 10, 15 years ago, say even 20 years ago, if you and I sat down, what's your favorite bands? As long as we were in rock, 5 out of the 10 were going to be the same.
Yeah.
Names were going to keep coming up over and over and over and over. Now you can talk to people, and they're always like, you could have tons of people and still not have one same person on the list. Yeah. There's so many opportunities now for people, and I feel it's forced TV to put in more effort into their shows. Yeah. You have more, a lot of movie actors are coming back to TV now and Netflix as well and stuff because they're making better product. They're not all great. I agree 100%. Right. But the options are so much more amazing. Because even when you had a satellite dish with 200 channels, 300 channels, it was 280 channels of the same thing just being played at different times of the day. And reruns that were done for a reason coming back on a mass scale. Right. So I do agree with you. There is more junk. And that's the same as YouTube. We're getting more people now, unfortunately, because phones are so easy to use. They've almost turned in what they used to sit and bitch about on Facebook. Now they found, I don't even have to type anymore. I could just turn on the camera and call this a YouTube channel. So it's not always bringing out the best channels either. But in the mainstream, we're all kind of got an opportunity to see something better, though.
Yeah, totally. And just to I'm right with you on TV. Like, I remember there used to be a time where I would get so excited about movies. Like, that was the way you saw good stuff.
Yeah.
And now, I don't know, man. I don't feel like there's a ton of great movies coming out like there used to be. Like, now it's all about TV, like TV shows, and not network television either. Like, there's still, I think that's the thing that's crazy is, like, if you look at the networks, they're still kind of making the same boring crap.
Yeah.
They're not straying too far away. Like, you have like places like, trying to remember what Breaking Bad was on AMC and stuff like that.
Yeah, they've got some great shows on them.
They've done good stuff, you know, but like traditional, like in America, like ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, those guys. And I'm assuming probably in Canada, CBC is the same way.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's kind of the same stuff. Yeah. They're not going too crazy. Every once in a while, something will sneak through, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I agree with you on that. But one thing they are doing is they've at least agreed that you don't have to have everything have 22 to 24 episodes a season.
Yeah.
They've finally agreed that a good guy can die in a show and it will live on. it's not so. It's not always at the end. And I told you, son, why you shouldn't eat that apple. You know, it's not always this corny ass ending that you see coming from about 2 minutes in the show. It's right. They are shaking it up, but I agree. It's not where the masterpieces are. It's HBO, AMC, and them leading into Netflix, Hulu, Amazon even has had out some decent shows, but a lot of crap too. But they are starting to get some. It's just they're not following the formula as much anymore. I think that's what's refreshing. They're finally realizing, because there was always some guys in the old tight black suits with the ties and that. Like, you gotta have a happy ending, or they're not gonna watch it. You know, it was like Mad Men all the time. You know, I want to see smiles, everybody. You know.
No, I've never watched Mad Men. Isn't that crazy?
I tried for an episode and it wasn't for me.
Yeah, I tried for the whole season and I just gave up on it. I don't know. It just something wasn't right with it.
My wife and I were like really hardcore into The Walking Dead, and I have not watched one single episode of this season yet.
No, not our cup of tea, I think.
No, we tried. We had it here, and Xenia gets nightmares from like that kind of stuff, and I was just. Everybody says I should like it. I've been told. I love that all the time. But you gotta watch it because you're gonna like it. Well, I'm sorry that I should run it by you next time before.
I watch I think that what's left from what I watch besides YouTube is more of the historical things, like The Crown. I loved it.
Okay.
You know, and just
how about?
Yeah.
Have you seen Outlander?
No, not yet, but I know about it.
Yes.
It's on
my
list.
wife loves Outlander. I'm sure it's because of the hunky guy that's in it, but she loves Outlander.
No, it's because of the script. It's
totally the script. No, she read, but she did read all. She read all the books though. She does love the books, and the books are not as like steamy as the TV show.
No, she's just picturing that guy.
Well, I like to also think it's because it's about a Scottish guy, and I'm Scottish.
There you go. There is a connection.
We found a connection.
Yes, that's right.
She puts my head on his body at least.
She doesn't have to. Same thing. It's like looking in a mirror. Oh my God. I was about to tell everybody we had him here on the show. Change the name.
No, not at all. No. Anyway, so you should check out Outlander. You'd like it if you like
I'll check it. Yeah,
stuff like that.
Definitely.
But it's a little steamy. Just warning everybody, pretty steamy.
Oh, great! Now I gotta go get that for us.
Girls' night today. Right. I think after.
We were big into the Vikings on the History Channel. And we got married in Iceland, and we liked it so much. That's Xenia's wedding dress. We had it remade from Floke's wedding.
Oh, wow.
We got married. Yeah, we got married in this fjord on Canada Day, July 1st. And she didn't want to wear a traditional dress. And who's your back outdoors said 50 Shades of Outlander.
Might be better than actual 50 Shades.
Riverbed Longbows, Vikings rock. Yeah, that does rock. Good to see you, my friend. And yeah,
I've never seen Vikings either. Do I need to watch that?
Well, if you like history and Nordic vibes,
but it's got a cinematic feel to it.
Has some gorge into it.
Yeah. But it's good. It tells the story of them eventually taking over France. It works down to the time period of finally starting to take on Europe.
Okay.
And the first sagas written about that era and stuff like that. But it was quite good.
Yeah, it's not like boring documental kind of stuff. It's more cinematic and closely, not directly, but closely related to history. So
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the worst about the history stuff. I'm not gonna lie. Every time Cheryl's watching like some kind of period drama, I'm always like, oh my gosh. I usually go watch YouTube while she's doing that.
Oh my God!
Nowadays drama.
I always think of that. Who was it? Homer and Marge were giving somebody wedding advice, and he said, "When Marge likes to watch one of her PBS shows are educational, I go to the bar, I pound a few, and come home drunk in the mood for love." And taps on the shoulder.
That sounds like a good idea. Actually.
Yeah, exactly. The words to live by.
Yeah.
So I guess we've gone on. That's been awesome. I had such a great chat. I almost forgot that we had people here. Sorry, guys, for.
Oh, that's okay. I'm keeping chat almost intact.
I don't know how you guys are keeping up with this chat. I'm watching it. I popped it out to the side, and I can't keep up. Like, I'm trying to read it as we're talking, and I can't do it.
That's why it takes two of us.
Yeah,
I would
that's
be
why
screwed
it's
on
me
my
on
own.
the chat most of the time, and yeah. And then I even can't keep it up with everything. So it's all good.
We have Scott Donnelly on, guys, from Hey, We're Talking podcast. Guys, we got to get his numbers up a bit. Do you have the link on?
Oh, yeah, I have both links and all the social media in description as well, but I'm posting constantly. Scott is a personal channel as well as a channel for their podcast. Go and check that out, and please subscribe. Give them some support. There you go.
I guess that was in reference to The Simpsons. The shiny collector said that's the secret of Pusa. Why not?
Yeah,
Why
everybody's
not?
asking what's our secret. Well, there you go. We finally broke it down. There's the two of us, if you didn't know.
There's your insider glimpse. God help us before that all gets out and somebody thinks it's true. So, I'm really, like I say, I'm glad you came on tonight because I've listened to you and I thought you'd be a real fun fit on here, and you were perfect Friday night because the Friday night one is more that kind of a little looser chatting style. I mean, they are with all of them, but it's Friday night, so everybody feels a little more relaxed and stuff like that. And you have been absolutely fantastic. You haven't let us down yet. That's just been unbelievable. So you're a Friday night regular now.
Oh, hey, you know what? I almost forgot. That would have been bad. I told you beforehand that I was going to kind of give you a secret.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I mentioned Danny Black and Mark Ensby, and you know, I've been hanging out with those guys quite a bit, and they've done a couple of episodes of Hey, We're Talking with me. And it looks like maybe, possibly, in 2019, there could be a podcast called, I think it's going to be called America versus Australia, which you may have seen in the comments, which I think is Mark Ensby doing.
Oh, that's
I seen
awesome.
earlier tonight. That is incredible. So
there may be something happening on YouTube with Scott Donnelly, Mark Ensby, and Danny Black. In fact, awesome. It's going to happen. It's not maybe. It's going to happen.
That's
going to
happen.
happen.
Well, that is amazing. Congrats, guys. That's a great collab right there.
Yes, that is awesome.
Yeah. Mark just said, "Here comes the boom." He knew I was going to say something. So Danny's actually flying right now, so he's not watching. He's in a plane. He said if we were on for long enough, he'll try to catch it when he lands, but I don't think it's going to make. I don't know how long his flight was, but
Danny's so awesome.
Well, there you go. Let me grab the link of the channel too, so you guys get some more support before you launch.
Yes,
that's awesome.
Do you have the date of the launch already? I see you have a coming soon video, but do you have the date?
No, we don't. But those coming soon videos are just, I think they're just like Mark and Danny will just like put like a 15-second thing that says coming soon. I don't even know what they are. They're just like staring at like a blank screen and has the logo on it. So
that works.
If you go there, there's not going to be anything exciting to see yet.
But soon.
Yes, soon. So the idea is because Danny is originally from America, and if you haven't heard Mark Ensby talk, he's like the prototypical, like if you think about Australia, he's like perfectly the voice. He's like that guy who's like, that's not a knife. Here's a knife. He's exactly, his accent is perfect. You know, like he has a live channel called The Right Stuff.
Yep.
So it's not even just the right stuff. It's the right stuff. So, I mean, he's like fully Australian. And then Danny's originally from America, married to an Australian. And I'm just all American. So, you know.
Wow, so you guys have everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. No, we like Mark Ensby too. He actually featured our channel there a couple times as well, and we rated his stream. So we're looking forward to that. That sounds really great.
Yeah, Mark is like man, I love that guy. I mean, I love Danny too. Sorry, Danny. I love you too. But I love Mark. Like Mark and I clicked pretty quickly. So I have a good rapport with him. And by the way, I'm announcing this. I'm going to get in trouble. I didn't tell the Hey We're Talking guys about this yet.
Oh, jeez.
So they are like, oh my God.
We'll find out if I get in trouble. Let's see if they even watched. Now, that's the difference. Mark is watching. We'll see if the Hey We're Talking guys watched. I don't think they will.
It's like the Van Halen thing with the brown M&Ms. This will be the test, and you can see if they really watched you or not.
Yeah. They did follow us on Twitter today, so, you never know.
Am I going to be David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar? I hope I'm Hagar.
Oh, you're a man after my own heart. I don't hate David Lee Roth, but I had to pick. But yeah, I would go. I like the Hagar years.
Yeah,
so.
Mark.
They made. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Mark Ensby says we'll bleep it all out. It's a secret. Hashtag secret. Yeah.
That would be funny. No. They made like really good music with Hagar. Not that they didn't make good music with David Lee Roth, but it was like a totally different level of music with Hagar.
I agree.
I probably just pissed off like half the people.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I'm just watching the chat to see what comes up because it's a divisive topic sometimes.
Yeah. But I grew up on Roth. Okay, I love David Lee Roth, but let's be real. He's a little crazy. He's a bit of a nut.
And not the greatest singer. Like, I mean, I'm seeing him live and stuff like that. And
it's terrible. It's terrible.
He talks out all the words in that, might as well jump, and then holds the microphone out for like the next 7 lines. I came to see you sing. Like, seriously, you're not here to hear me sing. You got the $100. You belt it out.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I seen Hagar too. And I mean, Hagar he's got the voice. When he's live, he sounds the same as the studio.
Yeah, but they can't get along with any other singers.
No.
That's David Eddie and Alex just don't get along with anybody, apparently.
Well, there's a complex going on.
Yeah,
we got to be careful here. Oh, boy, we're getting in trouble. Don't mess with the Van Halen crew.
That's right, in case you're listening.
Harmony says, I met David Lee Roth, and he was a jerk.
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
Yeah, I could see that.
I worked for a big music company. I used to work with a lot of artists, and one that I always wanted to meet was Eddie Van Halen. And I mean, I was in my 30s. I wasn't a kid, and I had my upper supervisor, who we were quite close. He had a talk with me, and it was cute. It was kind of like a heart to heart, and he's like, "I'm married. I have kids a son by then, and everything." He's like, "Andrew, I want to talk to you about the David Lee Roth thing." I'm like, "What? Is he here?" Like all excited. He's like, I know you've been always wanting to meet him. He goes, but I hate to see somebody taken down by one of their stars. And he tells me for the next 20 minutes about the time he met him, and a lot of his friends did, and not one person had a good story.
Oh,
he said it's just awful.
Do you remember when Howard Stern got off the radio and David Lee Roth took over the Howard Stern show? That was terrible.
The worst. That was going to kill the show. It was. It was going to be the end of it.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't last very long, so that was it.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
It's so bizarre to think of him being a radio disc jockey. Terrible.
Just so full of himself,
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Everything's cabaret, and God, shut up. It would be like a toddler on crack.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I would think it would be like. When they're just starting to learn how to walk.
How it is, just a disclaimer. But.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we're gonna get dinged by YouTube for saying a toddler on crack.
Exactly.
Harmony said, "Bingo, Andrew." No, it's just I don't know.
He's got to be one of those guys that's like never turns off the switch.
Yeah, you go to interview him, and 6 hours later, you can't get the hell out of the house. And then, hey, we're gonna plant the house, and I know people are gonna really come down on me now. I always thought the same of Robin Williams. I'm like, I couldn't take him for more than 2 minutes. Like, I couldn't take all the impersonations, the hands in my face, and be like a clown all day following. No.
I was thinking the same thing of like Jim Carrey. Like if you met him not now, probably now because he's all like Zen and everything. But back in the day, when you would have met him, like when he was really trying to be a huge famous star, you would just be like, Jim, seriously, dude, take a chill pill. Let's hang out a little bit. You don't have to entertain me the whole time. Just shut it down, dude. Shut it down.
Have a volume shake. I just made it.
Something, man. Just stop with all the crazy faces and the yelling. We get it.
But he has changed a lot, especially after suicide of his girlfriend.
Yeah.
I mean, now he's like, it's a completely different person. You can't even recognize the pictures of him.
And he was going
like he's 80
mad,
years old,
for a while.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell the difference, but yeah.
I mean, what's the difference, really? But
yeah. The thing I would tell you, though, like from, I don't know a lot of stand-up comedians. I did it for a while, but I'm not like a professional by any stretch. But knowing comedians and meeting a lot of comedians, most of them are tortured, man. I mean, a lot of people are really depressed or, just not happy. And comedy is a way to just, get all your feelings out. So
definitely.
But that's not everybody. I don't want to paint with a broad stroke like that, but you definitely meet some people who are pretty bummed out in life.
Well, the thing with a lot of them was that was their coping mechanism growing up. They got into high school. They were socially awkward. Most of them have that same story recurring. Lots of problems at home. That's how they entertained themselves because they were scared of their father who was a drunk beating them.
Yep.
Or, their mother, whatever happened. A lot of the same as guitar players. You look at them and you're like, oh, man, he's so cool. Look at him up there flying. Well, yeah, he's cool because he had no social life growing up. He was 16 hours a day in his room.
Yeah. Yeah, you get most people that I know that are really good at guitar, it seems like they got picked on a lot.
Yep.
Made fun of.
Introverted,
Yeah.
You see their high school picture and they have the semi-long hair when they got long, big goggly glasses, acne all over. They were just like a mess,
Yeah. And I mean, that was what it was like for me as a kid growing up. I was always like a fatter kid in school. And like, I just as a defense mechanism, before anybody could make fun of me, I would make a joke first. If I made everybody laugh in the room before they could make fun of me, that's how I stopped them from, making fun of me, or I'd make fun of myself before they could make fun of me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's how I got my humor. Is learning how to make sure people didn't make fun of me. I did it first, Well,
and it's a defense mechanism. I mean, it is. It's a coping mechanism, whatever you want to call it. So.
Yep.
And you really think that's where your humor was? Do you think it was always inherently in you, or is it because of circumstance that you developed it?
I think I developed it. I think it was just naturally in me. I think my dad had a good sense of humor. He made me laugh. And then I think as I was, becoming part of society with, when little kids, man, you're really mean to each other when you're a little kid,
Yes.
Definitely. There's
meanest.
Yeah, you just you have no filter. You just be like, man, that kid's stupid looking and he's ugly, or you're fat, or, you just really mean to kids when you're young.
Mm-hmm.
And so when the first couple people that picked on me, I just man, it really hurt me. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to come into the room and go, hey, I'm a fat guy, and make everybody laugh before they had a chance to say it. So if I made fun of myself before they did, and it seemed to make everybody laugh pretty hard, so I just enjoyed making people laugh all the time. So I kept doing it.
Granny Monster says if they're laughing, they couldn't take my lunch money. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Oh, it's sad. I feel bad now. Thinking about people that are so sad they have to make people laugh so they can not be sad. But it helps.
Well, I mean, it's just a way of getting through things. I mean, everybody has them. Even if they're the most popular kid in the school, they have their own hang-ups as well. Half the time, that's why they're being an ass, is because they have their own hang-ups.
Yeah, my wife always tells me, like, whenever I'm feeling bad about myself, she's like, you know what? Everybody's got their own thing. Everybody's going through something. There's not a single person in life that who doesn't have something going on that's going to, and a lot of times it's way worse than what you're going through. And you're like, down in the dumps. It's like, pick yourself up. You're breathing, right?
Yeah.
You're still alive. Enjoy life. Do what you can to make other people's lives better and happier. That's all you can do, right?
Well, we were talking about that today with a friend of ours, and that's the problem again with social media. As you were saying a while ago about news and being exposed too much, it's the same problem with social media.
Oh yeah,
because thanks to Facebook and that, everybody has an idyllic life except for you if you go by the pictures,
right?
And you could have a family that's all waving in front of a house smiling, but that's a picture. When that's done, they could be going back and living in a car. And it's not even their home, and that's how sad things are today.
Yeah.
It's very easy to look like a picture perfect family.
Yeah.
It's a snapshot. A lot of people live away from home. Nobody knows the difference, and stuff, and they put on smiles. But yeah, it it puts a lot of pressure on people to think they're always doing bad.
Yeah.
And people do that now. They're feeling kind of bad about themselves. What do? They go on Facebook and look for an hour. They go on, and it's like that's the worst place to go for help.
Well, one of the biggest triggers for depression nowadays is the social media because of all this pretend life, especially in the static social media like Facebook, Twitter and so on, is where you just share pictures only of the good things almost, and it looks so perfect where it's not. And I think YouTube, in a way, kind of steps a level up in the way when we do have more of the videos, and even more when we have live streams, when, yes, it's still not, one-to-one the real thing of life, but you can catch more of, face expressions of somebody being sad or upset. And it's a bit more, I find, real than it is on Facebook or Twitter or other social media in that way.
Miria Sonic said it best. You got arms and legs. Somebody's got it worse than you.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And I mean, you got to give yourself a slack too. There are bad there are bad days. Don't, just saying, well, somebody always got worse than you, and not always is going to help. Give yourself a chance. It's okay to feel bad sometimes, but don't, focus on it. Don't dwell on it. Step over it and continue.
And listen, there's there's something good about sometimes just, you need to live in that space once in a while. You have to learn to deal with, you're gonna go through horrible things. I mean, like everybody that we know and love, we're all gonna die someday. So someone's gonna die that you love, or something bad's gonna happen. I mean, you got to be able to live through those things. And I don't know, I think that's the thing, like you're saying with social media, is we paint these pictures of just such perfection and so much great stuff always happening in people's lives. I'm always surprised, and I don't know if you guys experience this, but even as like an older person, I know I'm not old, but I'm getting older. Like when I'm hanging out with people my age, I'm always amazed how few people can put their cell phones down, like for any extended period of time. Very true. I try when I'm hanging out with people to set it down, and especially now that I have that new Google Pixel, I can flip it over and it makes it go quiet. Right. But my whole thing is, I'd rather not be staring at a screen. I'd rather like hang out with people. And when I see people at like concerts and stuff, and they're all holding up their phones or like at something, I'm like, does anybody just experience anything anymore? It's hard for me to understand that. I get it, but at the same time, I don't get it.
Yeah, and I think in a way it is a bit different because of the generation difference. Like that's why, can't really say to the kids, well, you spend your time by the screen. Well, what was the difference with us spending it by TV? Now it's just a different screen, really. But at the same time, I do get what you're saying about experiencing things in life through screen. Like as a photographer, when I first started, like I was snapping pictures of everything. And then after a while, obviously it's part of learning, but after a while I realized that, I'm looking on everything through this camera. Every time I see a sunrise, I want to take a picture of it, and I'm not even experiencing the beauty of it. So I made myself to relearn again to put it down and not have it capturing every moment of my life, no matter how amazingly beautiful it is. Because at the end is your experience within you, what counts the most, not that picture, no matter how gorgeous and stunningly, breathtaking it is.
Yeah.
And I find people do kind of mix that through it. And I don't know, maybe it's part of evolution. That's what I'm sometimes thinking. Maybe the technology is becoming part of us. So that's how it's supposed to be. I don't know. What do you think?
I think basically there has to be a balance. I feel like if you watch, like I know Casey has talked about this before, and I think like Cody Warner and some of these guys will talk about, you have to force yourself to have times where, if you're like a daily vlogger or something like that, where you'll put your phone or your camera down and just experience, your family or life. You can't film every single thing. Like that's got to be hard. You have to discipline yourself to do that, I bet. I mean, if you're one of those people that's like filming every single thing that happens in your life, there's got to be a point where you're just like, okay, I have to force myself to put this down.
Like Ashley McCormick says, your phone releases dopamine and people are literally addicted. It is an addiction, big time.
Dude, every night I tell myself I'm going to go to bed at a normal hour, and I sit on the edge of the bed playing that stupid Toon Blast game until I run out of lives. And then I'm like, and then because you're staring at a screen, you're all awake then, you know? Like when you stare at that light, like blaring in your face, it just wakes you up. Even if you were tired when you're sitting there, it's like, I'm addicted to Toon Blast. Hi, my name is Scott, and I'm addicted to Toon Blast. I admit it.
And it's no different than addiction. An addiction is an addiction.
Yeah.
It's something that just takes over you. You lose control from it.
Yeah.
And you do. It really is. We all have that time where we feel like one of those public service announcements where your kid goes to tell you something, you're like, yeah, I'll be there in a moment. And then you look at the clock, it's passed like an hour later and it's passed.
I know.
And we all say when we see it, we all feel like, but we've all done it. We've all done it. I've done it. I know I have. Not all, not constantly, but it does happen.
None of the girls will understand this, but I sit in the bathroom, sitting on the toilet, playing those games. And then I go, my legs are numb. I think I need to stop playing this game. Girls go in there and get it done, man. They don't mess around. Like a guy, we go in there and I'm just like, man, I do everything while I'm on the toilet. I just multitask. Sorry to take it there, but hey,
it's become the new newspaper.
Well, real life, no apology. Just like the title said.
My wife was actually like yelling at me the other day. Not yelling. She doesn't yell, but she was like talking through the door to me. She was like, "Are you okay in there?" And I go, "Yes." She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm playing Toon Blast."
Nothing.
I'm fine. I had some bad Chinese food. I'll be out in a minute.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Well, I'm addicted to stats. That's the first thing I check in the morning. I get up. Okay, where's Social Blade at? Anything changed overnight? Check out YouTube. That's within the first 10 minutes of getting up. That's all part of the process.
I suck at that stuff. Like, maybe that's why I only have like 200 subscribers on YouTube. I don't know anything about that stuff. I'm not the brain person. I'm just the guy who talks. I don't know how to do all that stuff.
Oh, by the way, Granny Monster said that she gets you completely. On the toilet thing.
Ashley says I'm addicted to YouTube. Yeah, I'm in the same. I do. I because we put so much emphasis on it, and that's what a lot of the work is everything is analytics.
Yeah.
Where's the channel going? Oh, we're starting to pick up too much in the 13 to 17. What are we doing wrong? Let's get this fixed. Let's get back. We had a really weird problem is when we went from doing cinematics. That's how we got started because we do video and photography here in Montreal under the same name. Pusa Studios was basically just to get us more noticed by me making projects that I don't do for customers. Sandy does Instagram. She's the photographer. I'm video. And then we got into live streams when we hit around 1,000 or so. And the weird part is the day we got a live stream going, we lost women like crazy. Went down. Like we had the perfect
they didn't
ratio.
Like me.
Oh, so stop saying that.
That's true.
Oh
That's
my
the
God.
only explanation.
Anyways, we had 70-30, which is 70% men, 30 women, which is the perfect ratio of men to women that watch YouTube. And as soon as we started live stream, at one point we went down to 5% women.
Ooh.
It took us months to get it back. And usually we can see where something was going wrong. And that one to this day, we're not really sure exactly what happened, but it took us about, 3.5 months?
Yeah, it took a purposeful work, of trying to turn it back again, So you're always kind of trying to be on, it's sort of like a stock almost, you kind of try to gauge what is going to happen, what is happening now, it's a constant of that, but it depends where you want your channel to go, it really depends where you want it to see it in the future. I don't think everybody really needs to dive so deep into that.
Like for us, we don't want to go too far into the 13 to 17 year olds. There's always because there's some more well behaved than a lot of adults.
Yeah.
But if we're going too far in there, we're hitting the wrong demographic. There's something we're doing wrong or we're not handling properly and it's starting to veer off. And if it goes too far in there, we're going to notice a big drop, especially in the 45 to 55. Our biggest demographic is 25 to 45, those two demographics.
Yeah.
And then we fade off a bit more into the 45 to 55, and then from then on, and the same down below. So we always say your channels, your demographics are like your GPS. And you can kind of set your course, and you can see where your course is going. And if you do, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a topic off the top of my head. Like you guys' humor, you know, it's more geared, I wouldn't say so much to young, not that young people can't get it.
No, we don't have a lot of, there's no young people.
But you know more where you're going. So if you started veering a lot into the 13 to 17, okay, I'm starting to either get a lot of trolls.
Yeah.
And that can be dangerous because if they start coming in too much or just young people fooling around, that's going to chase off the other. It always works like a restaurant.
Yeah.
And say you had a bar is a better example. And say if you don't deal with a couple of drunks that are loud and obnoxious, the regulars start to go away and more of those drunks start to come in. And before you know it, your bar is a whole different demographic.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with your channel. So that's why we always believe in watching it so much is for that purpose.
Yeah.
Wow, you're gonna have to teach me how to do all this stuff.
Oh, we can definitely. Gary says, "Am I too old for Puša Studios?" Drew the demographics there of age, and might left somebody out there.
Gary Foster's, I'm older than dirt. No, you're not. So, God, you're like Cab 7. You're 50. He's 54, and he talks like he's like a prospector from the 1920s.
Oh my God,
drives me crazy. You're not old. I keep telling him all the time.
This guy here too, it's oh my goodness, he's younger than you are, and he's talking like he's 70.
We're 2 years apart. That's not like
still your guys in 40s, not in your guys 80s.
Poor Scott, you're making it sound like I have to ask him what it was like back in the old days.
No,
back in 72.
I'm just saying I don't know what it is with guys in their 40s and I don't know, but it's just crazy. You
what do we do?
Talk like you are 80. When you are like half life, it's still ahead of you, you know.
Okay, let's get real here, okay? Part of it is there's certain things that start to change in you when you get into your 40s.
Part of, something's changing you when you're 15 as well. So, I mean.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You feel very alive when you're 15.
I'm sorry, Granny
when
Monster.
You're 46.
Granny Monster said, I'm so old, I was the babysitter for dirt.
Hendrik, you're 48 and you feel like you're 75? Really?
Oh my!
Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. But like, what is going on? And when you talk to people that are actually 75-year-old, like nobody says that they feel old. Like they should be talking like they're dead already by then. No, I don't know.
I used to think like when you turned 50, you were old, and now I'm like 3.5 years away. Not even 3.5, almost 3 years away, and I'm like, man, that's not that old. At least I hope not.
No, exactly.
I hope I make it.
I mean, on the other side, I've done more of the greatest things in my life have been in my 40s.
Yeah.
I've backpacked across Europe on trains and all these things. And things I never thought I would do.
Yeah.
I was 40 when I got married, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, and did all these. I do more, and I appreciate them a lot more now than I would have ever in my 20s because I would have been so drunk or stoned. I would have never even remembered they happened. So, it's, I'm okay with my age. I don't have depression with that part.
No.
But I have a lower tolerance for people who don't act their age. That I do notice with myself. Friends
that
I grew
makes
up
sense.
With, I don't like childishness now with people, especially talking to them. I mean, that doesn't mean we can't laugh and have fun.
Right.
But I have like friends that I grew up with and some I'm not even hanging around with anymore because they're still talking like they want to be 19, and I don't want to be that. I can't relate to it.
Yeah. There's certain things. I was going to say, man, I've been acting pretty childish tonight, making jokes and stuff.
No, we're having fun. That's the opposite.
No.
Doesn't mean you have to pretend to be over the hill, but like they're like screwing up on all their credit. And they're just living like they're coming out of college.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to hear about this anymore. Like, you're 40, grow up a bit,
That's kind of the thing. Like if there's guys that I know who are my age and they talk about women very like, I don't know how to say it the right way without being crude, but talking crude about women all the time. I'm kind of like, I always say, yo, dude, I've been married for 25 years, man. Like, and I'm happily married. that's not interesting to me. I don't know what to tell you. And I'm 46 years old, dude.
Yeah, no, I get you.
And it's not, and I'm not talking about single guys talking that way. I'm talking about married dudes that talk that way. I'm just like, that's so disrespectful to your wife, number one, but also, what are you, 20 years old? Were you 21 at the bar or something? Like, dude, grow up.
It is a line between where you were the cool guy that decided to wait a bit longer to get married and then the creepy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is.
Exactly.
It is. And then the one of these times they do it and it comes off like a light bulb. It's like, man,
yeah,
you got to grow up now a little bit. Like,
it's a little different for me though, because in some ways, like Cheryl and I met in high school, dated from 16. I mean, I've been with her over almost my whole entire life. I mean, 30 some years. So it's like, you know, I'm lucky. We grew up together. So I'm a very lucky man. I know that. So, but still, there's a point where you just go, okay, it's time to stop chasing women and like being an adult, right?
Yeah. Bruiser said it best. He's 54 and still grinding. He does weightlifting and all that. And then underneath he wrote, I got friends 50 chasing 23-year-old girls. Sad, I think.
Oof.
Yeah, it is. It does. You know, it's a point where it just starts to look pitiful.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. I know you're better. Yeah, he's doing really good. Have you ever seen his weightlifting and that? Man, he's crazy strong. Holy God.
Well, I'll have to check.
I didn't know he was 54. I was surprised to hear that. He doesn't look it. Yeah.
Have you guys ever heard of a guy named Cole Robinson before?
The name sounds familiar. I was going to say motivational.
He's a Canadian guy, and he does this thing called the snake diet. You guys should try to talk to him. I mean, he's like his language is super crude, like hardcore language, but he does fasting.
Okay.
And weight loss and stuff like that. If you watch one of his videos, okay? Really? I'm laughing because he starts out every one of his videos. He says, "Hey, fatty," really loud. And then he talks to you about how to lose weight. And his way to lose weight is stop eating, which he really does. He actually doesn't eat. He drinks this stuff called snake juice, which is it's water with salts in it so that you can keep your electrolytes in your body while you fast. But there's a guy, I'm bringing this up because you brought up this guy, the weightlifting guy.
Yeah,
what's his
Bruiser,
name?
yeah.
Bruiser. There's a guy in the area where I live actually who did this snake diet, and he lost like I think like 280 pounds in 9 months. And he's a weightlifter now. So his name is Lawrence Malcheff, and he's got a YouTube channel. He's got like 1,000 subscribers, a little more than that, maybe almost 2 now. But he did it all by fasting. So he would just drink this stuff and lift weights. He's a power lifter. So, but to look at him when he started until now, it's mind blowing. So,
and like, is it vitamin supplement? I'm assuming something, or like prevent scurvy, or
no, you drink this snake juice. You just fast as long as you can, and then you eat one day, and then you start fasting again. So there's people that do like 10 plus days of no food, and then eat once, and then start fasting again. So
it's crazy.
Yeah. I've done it. I haven't done it for 10 days, but I've done multiple day fasts too.
You're pretty close to the keto dieting and intermittent fasting.
Yep. That's what I was doing, and then I just started doing the fasting for a while. I fell off the wagon when we moved, because we moved back to Michigan after a long time, and I haven't stuck with the keto lifestyle. And plus, keto for me, it really wreaked havoc on my system, man. Oof.
You did? Well, why don't we touch up on that a little bit? Because
sure.
I find it was, and I think it still is in a way, a huge craze about the keto diet. And I mean, they always change. Every 10 years, there's something new. But it seemed like it started to work for everybody.
I was waiting. I just wanted to put one last thing in when we were talking a while ago, because Gary Foster wrote something that just blew me away. I just don't want to leave this unsaid. We're talking about age. He wrote, "Growing old seems bad until you consider the alternative," and in brackets, dying young.
Yep.
And that sums it up.
I love that. That's what I was going to
Sorry, I couldn't leave that one go. I wanted it even as a soundbite, so I'd never forget that one.
No, that's good. That's really good.
Sorry to interrupt. I just had to get that out there. Very well said, Gary.
I'll print it out and put it on our fridge so my husband sees it every day.
Thank you, Mario Sonic. So sorry to interrupt. Yes,
it was very well said. Yeah. So and it seems like it is working, but then like what is the other side? So I know that you have gone through it, so that's why I wanted to see the input from the inside, so to say. How did you even decided to go on it, and why exactly that type of diet and not the other ones?
I had kind of flirted with keto a couple of times. Like I'm really, really, really super overweight. Like I'm grossly obese, overweight. And I had been told probably since my early 30s that everybody I knew was like, go get the surgery and you'll lose all this weight. And go get the surgery, go get the surgery, go get the surgery. And yeah, I guess for me, one of the things that I noticed, and this is not true of everyone, and I think I've talked about this on my vlog channel. If people do that, I have nothing against them, but my experience has been people that get the gastric bypass or the gastric sleeve, they lose a bunch of weight, and then a lot of them tend to gain a lot of weight back. They get fat again. And to me, if I'm going to go somewhere, have them cut me open, like cut a piece of my stomach off and make it so I can only eat like this much food, right? Like a handful of food. And then I were to lose a bunch of weight and then gain the weight back, I would literally just be like, okay, yeah, it's time for me to die. You know, I would be so bummed that I did that. And I see a lot of people that get it, gain weight again. And I think the key is, if you don't have everything straightened out up here, because like overeating is like any other addiction. I mean, I guess you have to eat to live, okay? Which is the difference. You know, if you drink or do drugs, you don't have to do those to live. But food is, you know, we talked about coping mechanisms. Food is like a very easy way to like cope with struggles or anger or whatever, right? I mean, food is everywhere. We have it in so many parts of, you know, family get-togethers, friends get together, you know, everything's surrounded by food. Yeah. So for me, I was like, if I can't get it straight in my mind, like, hey, this is a problem and I need to have it figured out up here, then I'm never going to be successful no matter what I do. Like I could get the surgery, I could do whatever, I could do keto, I could do anything. If I don't have it figured out in my head, if I don't have my head on straight, I'm not going to be successful no matter what. So I did keto a couple of times and I had some moderate success at it. And so I was just like, hey, this one kind of worked. I'm just going to do it. And plus you get to eat meat and cheese and bacon, you know, so it's kind of like, yeah,
you get to eat a lot.
Yeah,
you can. I wasn't this time when I did it, I was very careful. I usually would only eat one meal a day. And I would keep it around 1,000 to 1,500 calories each time I ate, which is huge for one meal. But then I would fast for 23 hours before I ate again. Right. So it was like just once a day. And I ended up losing 96 pounds total before we moved to Michigan. And then I just kind of fell off the wagon a little bit. I only ended up gaining back like 5 to 7 pounds so far over 3 months, but I haven't been doing keto at all. Not at all.
I mean, at the end of the day, you still lost a lot anyway. I mean,
celebrate your victories.
Yeah, everybody gains some back, but that sounds pretty good.
The thing for me is, though, that people don't understand is like, even, you know, like if you tell somebody I lost 96 pounds, they're like, oh, wow. But that's like, I still literally have like hundreds of pounds to lose to get to like a normal healthy weight. So for me, that's the thing that's difficult, is like when you look at, you know, sometimes if you know, it's like when people talk about climbing a mountain, if you just look up at that mountain, you're just like, wow, how am I going to get up this mountain? That's kind of how it feels for me because I have so much weight to lose. But yeah. So the keto worked for me. I'm probably not going to do keto again. just because of what it did to my system, it made it, I basically was just like, you know, you'll hear people talk about keto flu. Basically just means you eat and then you go visit the bathroom pretty quickly. So that's what was happening to me. Is I was just like, every time I ate, within like 15 minutes, it was just like instantly I had to go to the bathroom.
Right.
And then, you know, I'd be fine the rest of the day until I ate again. But it just gets, you know, if that happens to you every day, you just start to be like, it gets kind of depressing to feel sick after you eat every single day. So I think the fasting stuff works really well. There's a lot of science that proves that like long fasts are good for you, not just for weight loss, but to give your organs and stuff a chance to recuperate. It's good for your body. It just really is. I mean, that's why if you look back in history, like that's why there's so many religious people that fasted and stuff. It's good for your system, to give your system a chance to rest and rejuvenate. So it's good for you. And it feels pretty good. I'm not going to lie. If you feel pretty good after you get past the first couple of days, you start to feel pretty energetic and you feel good. So
why is it good?
So like I said, I think it just gives everything a chance to just kind of rejuvenate. So your body's not processing food. It gives your chance, like your liver, especially in your kidneys and pancreas and stuff, they stop having to process all the toxins and stuff like that. And you get rid of a lot of junk in your body. As long as you make sure that you stay hydrated with electrolytes, you won't feel sick. You won't feel like you're dying.
The withdrawal side of it.
Yeah, if you make sure that you have electrolytes, that's why you. So the snake juice, as it's called, is basically just a couple different types of salt that are in water. So you're drinking kind of a saltwater substance. It does not taste good. I'm just going to point that out. It does not taste good, but it stops you from feeling sick and getting, you know, like dehydrated and stuff like that.
Never Fam says, I had an aunt and 2 friends go through gastric. All 3 look great now. So successful, but they had a hard time at first.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say that because that's a good point. I don't know if you follow one of the big YouTubers, Boogie2988.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's gone through it. And I mean, he had a divorce, like 3 months after he got that done and everything.
Yeah.
But I think
she just stuck with him until he had the surgery. Basically, they had already decided they were going to get divorced before he even had the surgery. So,
but you know, it was a testament to showing you got to want to do it. I think it can work on the condition that you desperately want it to work. It's not a fix-all. It's not the holy, and none of them are. Fasting and keto, nothing is if your heart's not in it.
Yeah, it's all, again, going back to what we were talking about. It's about balance. Like the whole point of life, if you can get there, that's really good for you, is if you can live life in balance.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm living out of balance when I'm this overweight because I let food become too much in my life. You got to figure out how to have a balance in life. That's one of the things too. When I've talked with people about the surgery. When you get the surgery, there are certain things in life that you might never get to have again. Yeah. Not that I'm like, hey, I can't have that again for the rest of my life. But there's part of me that just wants to be like, you ever feel like I just want to be able to live like a normal human being? Does that make sense? Like, I want to be able to go hang out with my friends once in a while and have a beer, but not have 5 beers. Yeah. I want to be able to go hang out with my friends and have, I don't know, like buffalo wings, but not 50 buffalo wings. You know, it's like, it's trying to find a balance somehow. So I think that's the thing for me. And sometimes people that have the gastric bypass surgery, there are things that you'll never be able to have again. And that's fine. I get it. I'm not upset with anybody. Danny just landed. Woohoo! Danny Black.
Hey.
Welcome.
Hey, Danny, guess what we talked about? I bet you'll never guess. America versus Australia. Yeah. USA versus Australia. Anyway, I don't have anything. I think the people that do it and are successful, it's awesome, man. I have no issue with anybody that gets the surgery. For me, it was just like, I don't know. You got to have a peace about it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you have to feel like that's the thing that you want to do.
Yeah.
And up to this point in life, I mean, I'm at the point where eventually if I don't do something about it, that might be my last chance to have any kind of normalcy. But right now it just doesn't feel right. I guess that's the long and the short of it for me.
Bruiser says with keto, your system slowly shuts down. You get weak. Your organisms dry out.
Yeah,
it needs a ton of liquid, and it can never be a long-term thing. In the end, the goal is always balance. Xenia and I, and you were talking about food, when we got married, we had a business that was stressful I was into and stuff, and I ended up losing over, 50 pounds in 3 months?
Well, no, I lost 50, you lost 75, I think it was.
Okay, it was somewhere in that vicinity. It was a lot.
Yeah.
And we got married, but then and that was great, and I felt good, and then I went back into my regular life and business.
Yeah.
And it was hard, and I noticed myself starting to slip more, and it was for compensating, the same as I used to years ago have a bottle of Jack. Now I was doing it with food, because I don't drink much anymore, so that was the vice, and that was the painkiller, and that was the soother, and to keep your nerves at bay, and it was an excuse, and it started going through, and I just didn't have that discipline going as much as I should have. But it is used as a drug the same way. I did coke years ago and stuff like that. When I sat down, when I was really in bad parts of my life, I would run to food now the way I used to run to that.
Yeah.
It was almost like a shame, sitting in the car, you'd be having a Big Mac and almost feeling the endorphins kicking in.
Yeah.
And relaxing, and I could catch my breath for a second. And all those feelings were back when I used to do that,
Yeah.
There was no difference in the feeling. It's whatever it is a vice. And then that's when it becomes a problem.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, I'm going to keep, again, it's tough to when, I don't know if it's like this in Canada, but in America, as Thanksgiving rolls around and Christmas and stuff, it's if you're hey, I'm going to start trying to lose weight. It's that's going to suck, man, during the holidays. So it's I'm not living like a crazy person and doing anything I want, but at the same time, I'm just dude, I'm going to have a Christmas cookie, or, it's just, I'm just going to celebrate the season. And then everybody else, in January, all of a sudden I'll be hey, I'm going to change everything.
That's right. When everybody joins a gym with the greatest of intentions.
Yeah,
or buys the exercise bike that they'll later hang laundry onto and stuff.
Yeah. So we'll see. When I was talking with Gina Walters, she was trying to get me to get back to doing vlogs again. So that might happen in 2019 too. I don't know.
Nice.
I enjoyed making the vlogs, but I think probably I felt like I failed because I messed up on the keto thing. And so I stopped making them, and then we were moving and everything. And we moved really super fast from where we were living. We were living down south in South Carolina. And cause we moved there cause we didn't want to go in through winter anymore. Mm-hmm. And, but all of our family lives here in Michigan, and somehow, some way, I always told myself I'd never move back to Michigan. And here I am living in Michigan again. But it's good because I get to see my family, and it's been really good. We've enjoyed it, but we moved here really fast. We put our house up, it sold in one day.
Wow.
And we had to find a house within 30 days and move. So we moved in a month and a half. We decided we were going to move, and we moved a month and a half later.
Wow. That's crazy changes though.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I do miss the warm weather. I'm not going to lie. But it hasn't really snowed here. Have you guys gotten any snow yet?
Not really.
No, not yet. And it's not January yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Most snow comes here in January. Well, but it must have been such a change, though. I mean, so fast and such an extreme differences of everything. How are you adapting with that?
It was, I think the thing is, I knew why we were coming back. My mom and dad aren't old or anything by any stretch, and they're still doing fine. But, our parents are getting older. We wanted to be here with them. And then my brother has kids. We don't have any kids. We were never able to have kids. And so my brother has kids, but they're not getting to know Uncle Scott, and Aunt Cheryl. And so I was the only way I'm going to see these people is if I move up there and live by them. So that's what we're doing, and we get to see them now. So it's fun, man. I just, I think it was all about family. We wanted to be back with our family. As much as I hate the winter, I love my family enough to come back and go through winter, but I am hoping that it snows around Christmas. I do want to see snow on the ground at Christmas. If I'm going to be here, I want to see the snow on the ground at Christmas, but I don't think it's going to happen because it seems like I don't know how it is for you guys. And I know you have Celsius and we have Fahrenheit, but like, it's been, you know, we're like in the it seems like it's been like 38 to 40 something degrees every day, which I guess would probably be,
yeah.
But like, what are you guys? What would that be, like 8 to 10 degrees Celsius? Is that close?
I think a bit lower than that. I think. How much did you say again? We'll say 40.
Yeah, say 40 degrees. Somebody in the chat's going to do it immediately.
That's
watch.
4 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
We have been lower than that one. Yeah.
Yeah, but it still goes up and down. Like the other night it was -20, and then the next day it's +2, and again it's -20, +2. It just goes like yo-yoing all the way through this month. And November was the coldest month in the history, which we didn't. Yeah, we was like, what? But yeah, because it just got to such an extreme cold very early. Although overall it didn't really feel like so.
Last night or the night before it was -16 degrees Fahrenheit.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, we get a lot colder than that.
In the morning was like, oh, thanks God Andrew was taking kids out, so I'm like, I'm just gonna look through the window.
In Montreal in the winter we can get -40, I'm just looking it up to give you an idea. -35 is -31 for you guys. But it's a very humid cold here. So I lived in Saskatchewan where we used to get, for a while we lived there, and it was one day I went to work. I'll have to convert that one. It was literally -50 on the dot.
That's crazy.
It was -58 for you guys.
Oh my gosh. That's freezing.
But it's a dry cold. Where -35
it's totally
here, just as bitter.
Totally different.
It goes right through your clothes. Like you'd be waiting
does.
for a bus and you go to get on, and we used to say it was like stovepipe pants. You know, your jeans would freeze. You look like a tin man.
You know what's funny is now, like, I don't know if they do this. They probably don't do this in Canada, but like, especially when I lived down south, if it was 32 degrees, the kids wouldn't even get to go to school. They'd cancel school in the south at 32 degrees. So like you're 0.
Yeah.
If it was 0, they would cancel school.
We're -30, that minus for you guys, we get -32. The kids still have gone, and that's -25
and in
Fahrenheit.
Saskatchewan, like I was saying before, they don't cancel anything, and nothing stops running. People still go everywhere. They go to work, go to school, stores, everything, and it's -50. I mean, I don't care if it's dry or wet. It's -50.
It's like your nose hairs instantly freeze and snap.
They do.
Yeah.
Mudnut says I was in the Paw, Manitoba, and it was -60 degrees Celsius.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Well, I worked for this big music company for years, you know, a corporate job, all these great things. Then we changed life. We moved out there, and I went back to truck driving and hauling in the oil fields.
Oh, wow.
And that -50 on the dot, when we went out, all we did all day is they can't use open flames around these big oil wells.
Right.
It's just steamers, and they're small school buses with a great big boiler in them. They run lines out and just throw blankets all over these lines, because there's salt water and oil, always.
Oh, wow.
And the salt water, and this is not salt water like you think of like in the ocean. This is as briny as like old pickle water.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was just block of ice. Like everything was salt water frozen right to the core. 2 days, sometimes just opening up the wells and stuff like that, just working on them.
Well,
so I was going to say, here's the thing. This is why I don't understand, like, geographically. Usually I know where stuff is, but like when I try to picture where Montreal is, I get totally discombobulated. You guys obviously are north of me, but are you northeast?
Northeast,
yeah.
Okay.
We're on top of, we're kind of like on above, because from Montreal it's only about 50 kilometers or 50-minute drive to the U.S. border. You go into New York.
Okay.
But we're not that far from the Vermont border. So we're like kind of just off into the New York side, but, you know, not far from that border.
Okay. And I'm very well aware of Montreal because I'm a huge hockey fan. I'm a Detroit Red Wings fan. And we've had a lot of good battles with the Montreal Canadiens.
Well, the original 6.
Yeah. Yeah. And the guy who does like our one of the hockey broadcasters here in Detroit is Mickey Redmond, and he played for the Montreal Canadiens.
Definitely a real classic guy. And I mean, there's a love for all those teams everywhere you go. Within those 6, even if it's the rivals, there's still like a respect that goes around.
Yep.
I don't get it because I live in Montreal my whole life and I've done nothing but go for Toronto and Boston. So I'm kind of a shit disturber.
How did you end up liking Toronto?
Yeah, I know. Talk about setting your sights on no false hopes.
Yeah.
Well,
they're pretty good this year, though.
Yeah, we always say that. We know where it's going. I don't get excited anymore. I'm so many years past getting my hopes up. I just want to be pleasantly surprised.
I think you got a good chance this year, man.
We'll see what happens. I don't follow it as much as I used to. The last 5 years, 8 years, I've kind of backed away from hockey.
Yeah.
And I was never, like, in my adult years, like, I used to play when I was younger. I think it was by law in Quebec. If you didn't, you could go to prison. So I did all the hockey thing, and then I kind of fell out of it. I got more into music. And when I worked for this music company, we had season tickets 6 rows from the ice.
Oh, wow.
I've never told this story on here before, so I get them once in a while, and I go down, and they were used to me. They used to warn me because his best friend had season tickets about maybe 10 over.
Yeah.
And I went down, and I was there with my Toronto jersey cheering on some drunk guys who were playing against the Rangers and that. And
oh, man.
I get into work, and all of a sudden, his friend called me. He's like, that, because I'm from the Gaspé. They call it the Gaspé Z. And he's like,
yeah,
that idiot from the Gaspé was there again last night starting shit. He goes, stop giving him tickets.
You know, I was like, should I bring up hockey or not? But like nobody, I hardly have anybody that I can talk to about hockey, like in the YouTube world, because, you know, I grew up on it. Like my dad took me to my first game when I was 4 years old at Olympia, which was the old, you know, Gordie Howe barn. Like, I mean, that was like original stuff. And so I've been to tons of games in Detroit, and then, you know, Detroit won a bunch of Stanley Cups in the 90s and the early 2000s. So
strong team, tough.
Yeah. So I mean, I had a really good experience with the Red Wings, and I grew up when they were terrible and then when they finally won it all. So I'm a diehard. And I'm really enjoying them this year. They're all young, but I'm enjoying it. So, but it's fun to be able to talk about hockey. When I try to talk about hockey on Hey We're Talking, they're just like, and the one guy's from Chicago.
Oh,
he mostly just tells me that the Red Wings suck. That's his contribution. That's it. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, well, Chicago ain't so great this year either.
No,
so,
but they were all part of those tough teams. I mean, they were like the old movie Slapshot. All those teams,
exactly.
Were like that, you know.
See, and you know what Slapshot is. I don't know anybody that knows what Slapshot is anymore.
Well, another law in Canada, I think, if you didn't watch it, you could be deported.
Oh my God, it's so crazy here. When I just moved, I tell this to everybody in my family too. When I just moved here, and you know, hockey is a big thing here, but I never thought how big it is. There was some kind of major storm or bomb scare, like something was crazy bad happening all across the world, and you know, we switch on the news, and the first thing they talk about is hockey.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Like all the other news, the BBC, whatever, CNN, all other ones are reporting this major thing that was happening in the world. In Canada, they talk about hockey. Unbelievable. They're crazy.
It's such a great game though, man. It's so good. That's the thing. I always tell people, and we're losing everybody, we're hemorrhaging your people watching because we're talking about hockey. I'm sorry. But the thing that I will say is, if you go see a real pro game live, you'll be hooked. Yep. It's like the fastest. I mean, these guys are going so fast, and they're hitting each other, and it's just such a great game. Once you go and see it live, you'll be hooked. There's no way you can't love it.
We say it's the pride of Canada. I mean, it is, because it's kind of the one sport that we have kind of like, you know, that's our claim to fame, was getting hockey going. You know, that's ours. Not saying I'm competing against the States, because what I was going to say was, we forget that there is the States. I mean, that came later, but there's a lot of cold states too. Yeah. Around the border. And it's the same mentality, I think, with you guys. It was kind of us snubbing our nose at living in a cold climate. We're going to not only make the best of it, but we're going to put on the best power show you can get in freezing cold conditions, in the worst temperatures. Football players are tough. Put them out inside at minus 25, minus 30 Fahrenheit and see how tough they are for an hour, you know?
Yeah.
And that was kind of that's kind of the mentality of cold provinces and states.
Yeah.
We're better than that. We're not going to whine about it. Nothing's going to take us down. We're not going to hide in our house. We're going to come out swinging. And hockey kind of represents that whole mentality.
Yeah.
And like Xenia came here, she was bewildered to drive down St. Catherine Street on a Friday night, which is the main street in Montreal.
Yeah.
Minus 30 Celsius Fahrenheit. Every girl in mini skirts and no tights to be found. High heels on, hitting the clubs, dressed like it was summer in Miami. There's no stopping
well,
it.
I saw they're completely insane. You know, when Andrew just was coming over to visit me, I was all telling him, you know, we have the snow and it's so cold.
She said, I got two things to tell you. It's cold here. Lots of snow, and we like hockey. And I'm like, oh, you've never been to Canada yet, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I never knew how wrong I was till I came back, because the first day we landed here was minus 38 Celsius.
Oh, my goodness.
This is like minus 40 Fahrenheit, I think, almost the same. And then this hockey thing happened. I'm like, where am I?
Yeah.
Where am I? They're nuts here, you know. But I think it's just part of the bloodstream for Canadians here.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm going to tell you though, I think I'm going to be staying inside a lot this first year back.
Yeah.
I'm not good. I got soft living in the South, man.
I don't blame you.
When we came up here, like the first, like in October, I remember it got to be like 50 or like in the 40 to 50 degree range, and I was freezing. And I mean, that's nothing. I remember in Michigan, like when it got to be 50 degrees here, we would be like rolling our windows down and be like, spring is here, everybody.
That's right. Bring it on. I'm ready to go.
Not this year, man. I was like shivering, put blankets on and stuff. And my wife's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I'm cold.
Yeah, see, Brother Dunn, he's from Ontario. He said, yep, still golf weather.
It has been super nice. People are still playing golf. I mean, it's like if the sun's out and it's like 38 degrees, I think you can still play golf, right?
I'd say so. I mean, why not?
Seems like it.
I hibernate. I literally do.
Yeah,
I do go outside, but it happens very rarely.
Yeah.
Xenia's like a cat. She's like, oh, let's go visit the living room like it's going to the store. Let's go see what's going on over there now.
It's cold. It's too cold.
I'm with you. I'm just going to go from here to the living room and then to bed. That's basically it.
That's right.
Tanner 3D says it's been warm here in Tennessee last few days, but rainy.
Yeah, there was Ben from Australia said it's plus 23 here. I'm like, come on, such a teaser.
But as the sad part is, I would miss winter.
Yeah, that's true too, though.
I would, and I know that sounds demented. And I have been, don't worry, I've traveled around the world. And I used to work at a company that we had a big office in Vancouver, and it was always the same thing. Oh, I bet you're getting snow today. We're getting rain. I don't want rain in February. I would rather snow falling. To me, that would make me miserable and suicidal to watch that. Yeah. Not that I don't love their play, but I mean, I'm just growing up. It's part of life. You know, it's physical seasons. That's what I've known.
That's one of the things when we moved back here. I was so glad we got here at the end of September. It was so nice to experience fall.
Right.
Because fall in the South is totally different. It lasts. You're going through that kind of fall stuff in like a 2-week period at the end of December. And then January is a little bit cold, and then it'll snow once or twice. And then it starts to get warm again. Then it's like 50 degrees, 60 degrees, 70 degrees by the time you're in the middle of March, So it's like, it's very different. It's quick. Yeah. Everything goes really quick. And then the summer was just unbearable. Like, so you're talking about staying inside for the winter. That's what I did in the summer when we lived down south. It was like 95 degrees and 100% humidity. Mm-hmm. It's terrible. Mm-hmm. And when it's really warm like that, people might not know this, but when it's really warm all the time, the Australians know this, but when it's warm and humid, that's when you get all the snakes and spiders and all the creepy crawlies. Oof.
Yeah.
They live all year,
Yeah.
So there you go. And Australia has the most ridiculous. Have you seen those spiders they have? Like Ben put a video up.
I know.
It's like this big. They're like huge.
Everything there is on such a massive scale for that stuff like that.
And they're all trying to kill you. Everything there wants to kill you.
I don't know how people live in those places. Like we get this time. Well, I mean, by those standards, and tiny spiders, but they're still big. They are harmless though. But I get terrified, so I don't know. I wouldn't be.
They all have to die. Let's be real. If I see them, they're gonna get killed. That's it. They have to die.
No, I don't know about that. I still bring them outside to the window.
But then they just come right back in.
Well, no. I pretend they don't. I can't kill them. I can't. I either call my husband with a huge scream, no, or I'll gently bring them out to the window. But I don't know. I wouldn't be able to live where you have to look, under your feet in order to not to.
You got to look inside your shoe every time you get ready to put it on. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that would be a challenge. I don't know.
Yeah.
Completely different. It does get really humid here in Montreal though, and it's kind of such an extreme, which I guess I wasn't expecting either. Like we were talking, it's very, very cold in winter, but then in the summer it gets the same way. It gets very, very humid, like 95 percent humidity, and plus 40 and over. Especially like these last couple of summers, it was terrifyingly hot. Like you can barely breathe.
Our summers are very comparable to Miami.
Yeah,
we have kind of two extreme seasons. We go minus 40 and plus 40.
Terrible. So you get these little breaks, like I say, it's 6 months out of the year it's winter, but you get like little breaks, like 2-3 weeks of spring and maybe 3-4 weeks of fall, and that's it, and then you have this extreme heat or extreme cold.
Yeah.
You would never think of Montreal as being that way.
So so I think I know the answer to this, but do you guys have to speak French everywhere?
Well, you have to learn it, and it's we have language.
Oh, this is bad. I'm bringing up a terrible subject, aren't I?
We have language police and everything. It's kind of dampened a bit, but ever since they threatened to separate, there literally is a language police. And if you have if you're in a town under 50% English, you're not allowed any English on signage anywhere or anything.
Oh my gosh!
If it's over 50%, you're allowed both, but the French has to be more predominant. And there was literally guys coming with rulers and measuring, so you had to use a bold font on one and half the size on the other.
Okay.
And if you come from even a province, say Ontario, and your child is 3 in grade 2 or 3, they have no right to English school. They have to go to French.
Oh my gosh.
And then later on, if they're in grade 7, 8, 9, you have to go in front of a board. They decide if you're going to be allowed to go to English or not. My kids are allowed to go to English because birthright, because of me.
Okay.
But if they don't.
But we have had here like Pastagate, for example, when they wanted to take out word pasta out of all the menus in restaurants because it wasn't French enough. And it literally was called Pastagate. Guys, Google it. You'll get...
so what did they want to call it?
Oh, it was a name with that long. And then the local English radio stations had a field day with it because they started translating anything like club sandwich became a word with like 72 phrases in it to say it.
Yeah, French fries, and all of that had to be renamed basically in French.
That music company that I worked for, we were the biggest private distributor in Canada. We're huge. 280 employees, 400,000 square feet. I mean, a monstrosity. I'm working on our website, French and English, because it has to be bilingual if you do business.
Yeah.
I'm doing work and I took down part of the French and English. It's going back and forth. Didn't somebody see that and it doesn't have to be an agent. This is the Wild West. They can actually even deputize you in the end. This person, who we never found out who was, noticed we later found out it was 19% more English than French. Reported us. My boss comes in, the owner of the company, one morning, taps me on the shoulder. When I turn around, he's holding a summons for him and I to appear in a court in Hull, Quebec.
Oh my gosh!
The fine was up to $50,000.
Are you serious?
Yes, we took weeks to get this worked out, and in the end, they had to agree to francophonize the workplace. All products that we had in our system, hundreds of thousands of SKUs, all had to be translated bilingually.
Oh my gosh!
We had to take the chip out of the Xerox machine, the English one, and put in a French one. They had advisors advising us on how to do business in French, even though we dealt mostly with English Canada. Only about 10% of our business was Quebec. And we went through that for 6 weeks.
People need to find a hobby, huh?
Oh, it gets bad. They've shut down small businesses like that. They've gone in just like after them. It's got better because especially after the Pastagate thing, it looked so bad on them. They finally started backing off.
Wow.
But when I remember going to school when this all first started really happening, I think it was 83 or something. And it was, I mean, I remember our school name having to be taken down because it said New Richmond High School. It wasn't in French, so they had to make, I remember them dropping all the letters from it and stuff like that. And
my goodness.
Yeah, it was crazy. It really was one of the most controlling periods you'd never think ever could happen in North America. It was happening right for everybody.
Now I feel extra bad that the Red Wings made Patrick Waugh leave the Montreal Canadiens. Do you remember that? That was crazy, man.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah. The guy, who was the coach? There was a guy.
Oh my God.
Everybody, this is so bad. I shouldn't even be talking about this. Basically, Patrick Roy was like the greatest, one of the greatest goalies ever. And he played for the Canadiens, and the Red Wings came and played them in the Montreal Forum. Isn't that what it's called? The Forum?
The old one. No, it's the old one. Yeah.
They played there, and the coach, whoever it was, I can't remember his name, he left Patrick Waugh in for like 8 goals. Usually you'd pull your goalie if he gets scored on that much.
Yeah.
He left him in, and then Montreal, the way they had it set up, like the people are like right on the coach, and everybody's like right there, like all the players and stuff are right beside the fans and stuff. And there was all these people from the Montreal Canadiens organization sitting there. And Patrick Waugh walked by the coach, and he was like, I'm done. I'm never playing here again.
Yep.
And they traded him to Colorado.
Yep.
And that was it.
Yep.
And it was all the Red Wings' fault.
Yep. It was a crazy time, but I mean, that's hockey.
Hockey, people that don't know anything about hockey in Montreal and Toronto is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy. Like, not like kill a referee, but pretty close, probably. Not like soccer in Brazil, but pretty close.
It's like in Montreal, it's like soccer in England almost. It's one step away from the mob if they take in the field. Everything else is that. I mean, people fighting, parents with their kids. I mean, seven timers all around their neck, timing each kid at like 11 years old. See if they got enough time and stuff like that and everything,
Yeah,
it's not for the faint of heart. That's the whole reason why I didn't put my kids in hockey.
Yeah, it gets crazy.
Yeah, the whole spirit. And I mean, I don't have anything against your kids learning winning and losing and a little bit of discipline and push. That I can live with, but not turning them into like fixated superstars in their heads. Like, it was ridiculous.
Yeah. I feel so bad I'm talking about hockey because I'm just picturing people going, what are they talking about?
Well, Roy Barman says hockey in Montreal is a religion, not a sport.
Yes,
very
that's
true.
right. Yeah. That it is. They really take it that seriously.
Yeah, I think Toronto and Montreal, that's basically the truth for sure. Those are the most hockey-crazed cities, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think still to this day, we're over 50% of Canadians in the whole hockey league. Like, I mean, even States players, like American teams are heavily based a lot still on Canadian players. I know up until the last couple of years, it was over 50%.
Yeah.
Not that there isn't some great players come out of the States as well. Don't get me wrong.
No, it's getting better. They're getting a lot of more. Like, I mean, Toronto has Austin Matthews. He's from Arizona, of all places. Arizona.
My cousin's in Arizona, and I mean, he just got picked up by a hockey school in Ontario. They got an awesome program down there for hockey.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of the Latvians that I know that play. I know there is some. I'm trying to remember who they are. Do you know?
I pictured my husband's face expression when you said that without actually looking at him.
No, I'm telling you, there is some. I'm trying to remember who they are.
Yes, there are. There are actually numerous hockey players, and I don't know them by heart because I'm not such a big hockey fan. But there are lots of them that had played and are still playing in NHL. It's just, yes, it is smaller population in general, so there are less hockey players. But
I'm always teasing her about this. That's why.
Per capita, there are more players there.
Man, there's a whole bunch of them, but I don't remember who's still playing. The ones that I'm remembering.
Penguins, I think some of them are in Penguins.
I was thinking of Sandis Ozelinch. That was one that I remember.
Definitely. Our Artur Sierbek, who was a goalkeeper, he was playing for years. Now he's a coach, but he used to play forever. Yeah.
Artis Urbe was the guy the Red Wings beat in 4 games in Carolina when he was the goalie for Carolina.
Matthews here, a Fox in Space.
Oh, Oh, hi, Matt.
One of our past guests. He just moved to Maine. He said, I'm going to try to learn how to ice skate this winter. I know he's been very excited for that. So that is absolutely awesome. Great to see you, my friend. And mon nom affiche, comment ça va ce matin pour toi?
Nice. I didn't understand anything he said, but that sounded beautiful.
Manon Fish, he's from France. He joins us regularly, so it's morning for him. So it's great to see him.
And
here.
all I can say to him is bonjour, and then until Andrew talks.
So you know 3 languages.
Me? Russian, Latvian, English.
Well, 4 then. Do you know French too?
French, a little bit French. I do understand it more than I talk. I used to know a little bit of German, but that was so long time ago that I forgot.
I used to know that too. Guten Tag.
Yeah.
Wie geht es Ihnen? Es geht mir gut. Und you?
Hard language. My God, I studied it 5 years, and I don't remember almost anything.
I forgot all of it.
Well, I don't know. Latvian is. Oh my God, it's so hard. It's so hard in every sense of the word.
Is it similar to Russian?
No.
No, it's a completely different branch in the linguistic tree. Like there's only 2 languages coming out of it, so to say, and it's almost it's closer to like old languages. Like Icelandic is very still like old based. Well, that is kind of still. It does have influx of a lot of people that were occupying us before, but it's still very, very old.
You hear some words where they're influenced by Swedish, some by Russian, and that, but the main majority. And it's a very sing-song language, like next stop on the bus is Nakama Bietra. And it's like, you can't just say it flat. You got to sing it like Japanese. There's like up and down for every syllable.
Okay.
They learn, so it's like Nakama Bietra. Da, 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 da. You got to say it in that fashion, not just read it out.
So you've learned some too, then it sounds like.
No. I'm awful at it. I know Sarkans because I get Marlboros when I'm there, and Sarkans is red.
Yeah.
And I remember turtle because I said I'll never remember that word in 1,000 years, and it's Brunio Rupetus.
So when you get in trouble, does Ksenia ever just like yell at you in Latvian ever?
I should try that.
No,
you should. Then he doesn't know what you're saying, but he'll know from the tone.
I want her to yell it in the bedroom. That's right.
He went there. He went there.
Yeah, that's right.
Real life, no apologies. I did tell him that it's better to learn Russian though, because as much as I would want him to learn Latvian, because it's like it's my base language, so to say.
Yeah.
It's more useful to learn Russian, and I'm half Russian, half Latvian anyway. So and for the older generation that is still left from my family there, most of them still understand Russian anyway. So it just would be more practical.
It's more versatile because any ex-Soviet country, you can at least use it to get by. Where Latvian is such a specific language, like 2 million in the world or so speak it only.
Yeah.
And you'll get to say da all the time, which is fun.
Yes.
Da. You know?
I was kind of disappointed because the more I was learning words, the more they weren't sounding like. I always want to sound like an angry Russian. I always want to be slamming my table on saying I would love to see it tonight.
Like that Simpsons episode when they're all angry, and sounds so terrifying.
And everything sounds so soft, and I'm like, this is not Russian. I want angry. And the only word I really got is pillow, padushka. That's what I want. Padushka. I want.
Yeah, say it mad though.
Right.
Hit the table.
But the other ones are very light.
I was thinking like everything that I think of Russia is like from growing up from the movie Red Dawn and Rocky IV.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well,
it's like,
you know, you want to be angry and spit and belting it out. Like
it sounds like that, but it's not, and it's also because they talk louder than average person, so it always sounds like they're arguing, but they're not. And in fact, it's a very beautiful language where you can say, one thing 20 different ways, and that's why, like poetry and literature wise, it's very, very rich. You know, so as a language itself. But no, it's not so angry. It almost.
I was very let down by it. I was very hurt.
He was so upset.
I was.
Like, what do you want me to do?
I want angry. I want to be them movies that I watched, you know?
It's because of the stuff we grew up on, because of the Cold War stuff. You know, they had to make the Russians look really mean and nasty, and so everything they said was very,
well, that's
angry.
her friends would get so fed up with me because when I go there, I was always taking pictures, showing people. I'd be like, "This is the old KGB headquarters, and this is where this happened." They're like, "Will you stop talking about Soviet time? We've evolved." But I'm like, to me, this is my war. This is where I grew. This is what I was too young for Vietnam and these things. I'm in a place where I was never supposed to be allowed to be.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm into it. Like, this is my way. I've always liked traveling off the beaten path. No, I didn't pick Xenia because of that, but it was an awfully great bonus to have her from. Like, I'm glad she wasn't from France or Italy or anywhere. I was glad she was from Latvia. That was a bonus. And I want to see all of that because I was never supposed to be there.
Yeah, you had a choice between one Canadian and one Latvian. Well,
you know what? You know what's funny though is like Russia's the bad guys again.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you know, there's always they always are. Really, if you look at the history, they always are. Like once in 100 years at least, if not more, they are. You know, so.
Definitely.
Well, I don't listen. I'm not saying I think they are the bad guys, but in movies and stuff, they're bad guys again.
Well, and even over there, I mean, like Latvia's scared because I mean, if Russia ever decides to pull back, the Baltic states, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia are right in the fronts of it all. I mean, we had 2 condos when her mom passed away, and it was a hard decision because it would have been nice to have a base over there. But what happens if Russia does get it back? Then they're worth nothing.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, Latvia is so small. Literally, like I always say, like, and it borders Russia. So if they ever decide to actually reinvade it, it literally is gonna take them 40 minutes to fly over it with a plane and bomb it to pieces. Yeah. So like, what's the point, you know? But you know what the most interesting part is, because lots of people from my family as well, like they fought for independence in '90s and all of that, you know, in the front lines. And now lots of my uncles that are an older generation that went through all of that, they actually say, you know what, maybe it's not such a bad idea. And
to go back to Russia?
Yeah. Yep. And it's like, what? Like you don't completely change of this ideology because I guess EU didn't give them what it was promising, so they feel more secure in what it used to be.
Going back to communism in a way, and not that it's full communism, but whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
like he said, he was a farmer and he built his way up to 5 large tractors, combine that. He had 2 bad seasons and lost 70% of his machinery was taken back.
Yeah,
in Soviet time, he wouldn't have to worry about that because he'd always be covered.
Yeah.
Because you looked, and I'm not sitting here saying I like communism. I'm talking about their way of looking at it. It's kind of like going back home. You go on your own. Things didn't quite work out. Sometimes, you know, going back home sounds comforting.
Yeah.
Because it is a lot of problems being free. You know, I mean, it really is. And they were just chucked into the middle of it. Because when Russia left, they just left them a country, as many, and good luck to you. There's no money left. We've taken it all.
Yeah.
Anything that wasn't nailed down, they grabbed. They even had a satellite dish there with wires. They went and poured acid all over all the wires to make sure nobody else could use it again.
Yeah. And so. I voted for going into EU, you know, but it's a different, I think, thinking because we were a new generation. It was something, you know, it opened the doors for us for education, for traveling. But for most of the population that is still, most of the population is older. It's not. They don't travel, you know, they don't go studying in you know, in Switzerland or UK. So it really didn't make it better at the end, which is so upsetting. Like every time I hear that, it's like, wow, you know, but that's what the reality is. It looks different from inside than it is from the outside.
Yeah. And it can, I mean, I guess the thing I would say is like, you know, being free from what you knew, sometimes it takes a while for it to totally take hold. I mean, it might take 100 years for it to really come to fruition. You know, you never know.
But definitely, it always sounds on paper, you know, like the Americanized 80s movies when the Cold War is going on, you know, they're going to show up, win them over in one war, throw them some Budweiser and bikini girls, and it'll be life going on. It don't work that way.
No.
And not everybody's looking for that. And you can't just, it's a culture shock no matter how much you try to make it think it's a great thing. It's not for everybody at that moment. It takes time to warm up.
Yeah, and I mean that's, you can see that very easily in just seeing, like, you know, what America tried to do in Iraq and places like that. I mean, even Canada was involved.
Of course, definitely.
But like Iraq, they just, you know, I mean, I think the idea of freedom sounds really good, but then putting it into practice and making it work, that's like a totally different thing. And then you have to be, I think you have to be willing to go through the struggles and the pain of having freedom. And there weren't enough people that really wanted it, apparently, because there were people that came in and just turned it back into really worse than it was.
Well, that's it. And I mean, at the time, freedom sounds good, but what were they left with? The same thing. They were left with a disaster of a country, a war-ripped country. It's not exactly like the ideal situation.
Yeah.
How do we fix this? How do we adjust? Okay, we're free to sit in a mess, you know, and I'm not saying it was purposely done that way, but you got to look at it from their point of view.
Yeah.
We were left with no infrastructure for work, for anything really. Like, and really, like, afterwards they were talking that there should have been like EU advisory or something like that, how to get up and go, basically. It's like letting somebody out, you know, of the prison after 20 years, you know? It's, everything is completely new, and we didn't really have anybody like to advise us with, and that's why it was so hard, you know?
Yeah.
And so... Yeah, it's wow, we have went.
I know. We've gone all over the place, haven't we?
Unbelievable.
I can't believe you guys are still talking to me. Good grief.
I actually really enjoying it. This is what I like about Fridays. They're a little more loose, a little more like, I mean, like I say, we do it with all of them, but a little more conversation based and stuff like that. And this is what exactly what we love doing. So it's been great. It's been so much fun.
We do have 2 questions that I wanted to ask. If maybe if we can squeeze them in.
We hope we're not holding you for time. I hope.
No. I just was like, man, I thought you guys would kick me out of here a long time ago. I'm like,
or did you hope?
No, I just thought you'd be like, okay, we've had enough of Scotty D. Time to go.
No, it has been a blast, and I have people in the chat too has been saying how much fun it's been to listen to you and to the conversation. So definitely, we are having fun. As long as you are, that's great. We do have 2 questions. Let me get to them here. While I do, maybe Andrew can welcome the people that just joining us to chat still. We always have new people coming in.
Welcome, Eric. Well, Eric was here a little bit, but I'll just say welcome to you, Brent Eyes Gaming. Inside Kate's Kitchen, it's great to have you in here. Glad you found us. Unearthly Wanderings, of course. So many people. I'm sorry I'm missing. G-Mam's World, welcome. Lima's Play World came back. Great to have you. Sorry, guys, I'm missing some of you. I'm just trying to touch the highlights and let Xenia get to her question.
Yep, there you go. I got the question. Sorry about that. So 3 questions. One was from Roy Parman. He asked with the stand-up, when you were talking about your first comedy experience, what was your first heckler experience like?
Oh, my gosh. You know, I was not ready for it. I can tell you that. And it was another comedian who was there, and he wanted to try and throw me, and he started saying stuff while I was doing it. And I was kind of like, man, I don't even know what to say right now. I just kind of like stopped dead in my tracks, the first time, but then the second time, I came prepared. I thought about what am I going to do next time, and the next time he did it, I said something very crude to him. I won't repeat it, but I made everybody laugh when I said that. So that's what you got to do. You got to just basically shut them down. Is the whole idea. So it was not fun the first time, but the second time I was ready, and the second time was good because I made everybody laugh.
Is it a very competitive environment?
Like,
do people like to step on each other's toes? It's.
Yeah, I think it depends. I mean, you're going to find, it's like anything else. I think you find people that you can relate to and you make relationships with and have friendships with. But like comedy's definitely one of those things, especially I think among the males, although that's not true anymore. Now the females are just as pretty hardcore as the dudes.
Yeah, some of them are.
But like, I think, you know, it's like, you know, you're breaking everybody's balls. You're always like kind of like trying to make people feel uncomfortable a little bit and making fun of each other and cracking on each other. And we kind of do that on, hey, we're talking a little bit, but not the way I remember, like with the comedians, man. Like they go for your jugular. Some of the stuff they would say, you'd be like, oh, dude. Wow. That kind of hurt a little bit, but yeah, you got to fight back. You got to say something back, you know? And again, it is very competitive because especially when you're just starting out, you know, it's like anything else. I think you're trying to kind of stake your claim and try and get your name out there and stuff like that. So there were people that were, you know, that really were playing the game. That's one of the things I'm not very good at. I'm not good at playing the game. So I kind of might take a more relaxed approach to a lot of stuff, as far as like, I don't have any grand ideas of being a famous person. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not trying to be famous, I guess, but I really do enjoy entertaining people and making people laugh. So I've always been of the mindset that I'm just going to keep doing it. And if it ever pans out to be something that's, you know, can support my life, then that's awesome. But I don't have any like grand ideas of being the next big thing. I have no grand ideas like that. Maybe that's good. Maybe that's bad. I don't know.
Well, I think it saves brain cells from stress and drama. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Then we had a quick question from Hosier Audi. He asked if you ever heard of Bob and Tom's show out of Indianapolis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, there you go. So there's some connections there too. And I don't know. I think that's it.
I think we've covered so many topics.
Gives a minute. Ben Ott is here. Yeah. Gives a minute. Good morning. Good morning in
Australia.
Australia.
How are you? Good morning, my friend. Tammy, Minda just walked in.
Yeah, Ben. We actually had him as a guest as well. Yeah. So we loved him.
I love his style.
He's at 2:03 p.m. now. Yeah. They're in the afternoon.
Yeah.
They're finally
afternoon,
finally ahead. They're finally into their afternoon. I have a little thing on my phone now because I hang out with all these Australians.
Right.
I always know what time it is.
It is tricky. It is tricky to keep in touch with them. You know, so that app will come in handy.
Oh, wasn't the ocean swimming? You guys are killing me there from Australia.
I know it's summertime there.
Yeah.
Plus 23 was latest reports, and now swimming in the ocean.
Guys, I'd like to take a minute for Gives a minute to just give him some sympathy from all of us. We feel really bad for that life he's living. So if you can just take a moment and say hi to him, you know, to Ben, we really feel bad for that awful torture of living in there.
Yeah, right on the ocean. Right on the ocean.
You know, it's think of the kids, for the love of God, think of the children.
Although he does have giant spiders and snakes in his backyard. So.
We'll give him that. Yeah. A little bit.
That is too funny. I'll trade you internet for ocean.
He would be so bummed out if that really came true. I'm telling you. He always says we have the best internet, but I'm telling you, I'd like to live by the ocean.
Oh my God, that's so funny. That's so him.
Yeah, it is.
It is. I love that. Oh my God. E-learning by Tanvir. Excuse me. Great to see you. How are you? I could just picture him when he typed that. I could just picture them.
If you haven't watched Gives a Minute, he vlogs every day for 4 minutes. So he does a 4-minute video. He's very orderly because he's a German. And he routinely gripes about his internet. And he has good reason to. It's really terrible. It's terrible internet. It's like really bad. But he routinely gets upset about his internet. So you need to go watch his videos. And it's 4 minutes. And do people know this? He was on your social. He talked about this, right?
Yes.
Like consecutive. So like if he did it at 10:05, 10:04 today, it'll be 10:08 tomorrow. He just keeps doing that. And it never stops.
I think it's one of the most ingenious things I've heard on YouTube.
That or he's completely crazy.
But
one of the two.
That's what it takes to be ingenious on YouTube. So it's a good mix. I just thought when he was telling me about it, I'm just like, this is brilliant. It's got a little bit of like not Andy. Well, yeah, a bit of Andy Warhol. Yeah, I guess kind of. Yeah.
It's very
Andy Warhol meets Andy
creative. Yeah, it's out of the box approach. I find.
But a lot of people went on YouTube saying that I want to find something different. That's why I came onto YouTube. That is different.
Yeah,
it is. I had off.
And he's doing the same thing with his live stream. He just live streamed today, I think. Yeah, it was today. But he's doing the same thing with the minutes. He is 100. He says he's 100% nuts.
I've seen that. Yeah,
he is.
Well, a little nuts goes a long way.
But he's adding 1 minute to his live stream every week until he's on for 24 hours straight.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. That's crazy.
It's
the main thing that seems to me crazy is sticking to it. Like I could maybe decide doing it, but sticking to it is so hard. You have to be so organized. So kudos to you, Ben.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're doing that.
I think it's awesome. I really do.
I think like that just like stuff like that makes Ben feel alive to stick to like he likes order. I don't know if you ever heard him talk about it. He enjoys that. Like, okay, he likes numbers, so he likes the order of numbers. So like that 4 minutes and I'm going to add a minute and all this kind of stuff. Yeah.
The Susie channel says that's commitment. Exactly. That is commitment. I wouldn't be able to pull it off.
No.
Hey,
especially when he has to wake up in the middle of the night to do his vlog. Like he does it through the night too. People, I'm serious. Like it's 4 minutes extra every day, and he goes into the night and everything. It's crazy.
Guys, we're talking about Ben from, you'll see the channel above, Gives a Minute.
Yep.
And that's exactly what he's doing. He's, anybody just walked in, he's vlogging his life basically 4 minutes at a time every day. So if it's like you were saying, if it's 10 o'clock, say yesterday, he'll do it at 10:04 today and 10:08 and 10:12. And he's literally going to go right around the clock doing that.
Yeah, so go check him out. And he is in Australia. So if you're here on this side and you crave for some ocean and sunny days, you definitely want to check that out.
How you doing, fireman? Good to see you, my friend. Ricky Dove, it's nice being here. I've got to go to bed. It's 3:07, yes, in
crazy
UK.
Guys. Some of you guys in UK and in Europe are staying with us for a long, long time. I think they have switched to our time zone.
That's why if you follow our schedule, we're on 6 times a week, and all of them are at 7 p.m. Eastern, except Thursday at 1 p.m. We do one channel shout-out a week for everybody in the European places to give them a break from staying up all night. And they're really great. I mean, that means a lot when people will do that. I don't want people sick, and I always tell them, be careful. I don't want anybody losing jobs. I don't want anybody ill over it, but it really means a lot for that. When somebody comes and tells you that, that's really awesome.
So what is ahead of you? We know about your upcoming podcast with collaboration with Australia, but for your channel and for your current podcast, what is up and coming for the future?
Well, we're going to keep doing the 5 shows a week, I think, and we are going to take some time off at Christmas. We feel like at Christmas time, like nobody's going to show up, so we just we take some time between Christmas, and it gives everybody a chance to be with their family and stuff like that. So this week we're going to have regular episodes, and I'm going to be talking to Gina Walters on I think Tuesday and Thursday this week. So
it's a 2-hitter. Nice.
Yeah. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it'll be with me and the guys with Bob and Derek. And by the way, Bob doesn't do anything with his channel, but Derek is like kind of in the pipe world. Derek's kind of a big deal. Derek DeHant is his YouTube channel. He does a lot of stuff. He's got, I always am like, I can't believe you have this many followers. He has like almost 4,000 people that follow him for pipes, for smoking pipes. Okay. So, I shouldn't promote his channel. We give him a hard time all the time because why is he hanging out with us? We got nothing. This guy got 4,000 people who want to know about smoking pipes. But Derek has a pretty big channel. So if you're into smoking pipes or if you're interested in it, he's a really good guy to follow. Bob doesn't do anything on YouTube. He used to do some pipe stuff, but he doesn't anymore. And then, so those 2 guys will be with me Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then Gina, if you haven't seen her vlog, I mean, she's vlogging every day in December, calling it Vlogmas. She's great. So go check out Gina Walters too.
Yes, Gina is really amazing. And then she has been turning into the women empowerment thing lately as well, I think, which we have caught on to eyes into a lot of women and girls out there as well. But not only. She talks a lot of raw stuff, a lot of raw things going on in her life and around her. We love Gina too, so that's gonna be exciting.
For Gina, the thing I would say to everybody too is like, I'm totally not her target audience at all, but she, and I say that, and even when I say it, I don't like the way I said it, but she's the reason that you're gonna love Gina is because Gina's just like, she just gives herself. It's her, you get to see Gina. And she's just fun, man. I mean, she's just a good, positive, person, but she also, you know, she's not one of those people that's just like, oh, everything is so great today and blah, blah, blah. She'll let you see her for real, you know, and she's just got a great personality. That's what I always tell her. I'm like, because she went through a time there a couple of months ago where she was trying to figure out what her niche was and all that kind of stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, it's you. It's just you. People want to see you. So just be you. That's what they're attracted to. That's why people watch, is because of your personality. And I mean, I think that if anybody that wants to get into YouTube or any of this stuff, or you want to do a podcast or something, I would just say, just be you. Don't try and do something special to get views. Just do you, because that's what we're all attracted to. I mean, like, this is the first time I've met these guys tonight, is doing this show. And I've loved every second of it, because we're just having a conversation. It's just us, you know, we're not doing anything special. We didn't say, you know, if you tune in tonight, you're going to find the secrets to life. It's nothing like that. We're just hanging out. It's fun to meet people and get to know people. So just be you.
Very true.
I appreciate
Very
it so
true.
much.
Thank you so much for taking your time and spending it this Friday with us.
It was really cool. We really do appreciate it. And thank you for sharing so many things about yourself and stuff like that. It was a really great conversation. Can't thank you enough.
Thank you guys so much, man. It was great. I mean, thank you very, very much. I appreciate it.
Pleasure was all ours. And hopefully we can keep in contact and keep chatting.
For sure.
Keep us updated with the new projects and that, okay?
Looking forward.
I will.
Thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you so
You were so
much.
awesome, my friend. You take
Bye,
care,
guys.
and have a great weekend.
Bye.
You too.
Bye now. Oh, that was awesome.
Well, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Really was. And as our title says, real talk, no apologies. That's exactly
Yes,
it.
exactly.
Everything and anything was so much fun. Some serious topics, some laughs.
And it's nice, you know, we have lots of returning and lots of new people coming in, and it's nice to see you guys getting to know each other, enjoying the guests. You guys have all been so respectful tonight, and that makes for the greatest time ever. Like I say, we always treat our show like a comedy club. Not because it's always funny what we're talking about, but it's that kind of respect. Everybody gets to mingle, chatter, people join each other without getting obnoxious about it or asking for a bunch of subs. You engage with the guest a lot and stuff like that. You guys really are the cream of the crop. I've said that before, and I'll say it again many times over. Thank you for making this channel what it is.
There was some amazing conversations in the chat as well, following all our various themes tonight, which we love. We love when you guys get involved in what we're talking about and voicing your own opinions, your experiences.
Yep.
That's what we are all here about, that we can all talk together and give our input into the show and ask questions to the guest. And thank you so much. And it's Friday night. You chose to spend your time with us, and we do appreciate that, because we know the time is worth a lot.
Yeah. Did anyone lose a lot of... Yeah, everybody got the purge at some point. Like you see, we hit 4709 today, and we dropped to 4661. But you know what? It's coming back up again. And some got hit a lot bigger than others. And... but it seems the most got like 30 or 40 if you had a decent amount, you know. Susie, what did you lose? I got more subs tonight than I lost this morning. Oh, there. Gary always finds the right way to look at things. There you go once again. I got more subs tonight than I lost this morning, Pucha Studios. Always make us winners. You make us winners by being in here and that kind of attitude. That's why I'm always saying the stuff that you say. There, see, drop the 465, guys. It's always going to be on a yo-yo. You can't worry too much about it. Today, like we say, we lost some, but for most people, what we lost today is still what we will usually lose in a month plus some.
Yeah, and for those of you that didn't know, because I know there are some people in the chat that didn't know, YouTube officially announced the purge of subs yesterday and today, where they were removing subs that were either deleted earlier, old subscriptions, bot subs, sub for sub, and so on. So it happened to everybody these 2 days. Don't worry, it's not just you. It was official YouTube statement, so everybody went through that, and we feel for you if you feel upset about it, but we can still go on, and don't give up on what you're doing.
I've been sick, so I miss coming in. Tammy Minda says, oh, well, I hope you're on the mend. The mend. I got your last name now in my head. I just hope you're feeling a bit better. That's not fun to have. Hendrix, I think you were talking to him. He says, Push Studios, I hand you over to Jay.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So looking forward to getting in touch with him. We do appreciate, guys, when you do suggest a guest, and especially when you get us in touch with them. We do appreciate that. As we said, our today's guest was inspired and first requested by Who's Your OD, which is Who's Your Outdoors right now. But then we had numerous other requests for him as well. So I was like, we have to have him on. People are asking, don't go anywhere. We're going to be sending you over to the live stream as we always do at the end of hours from Puša with Love. We go and visit somebody at the end.
I'll type that.
And we are going to be looking and checking out the live streams going on. Usually we never pre-plan that. We just go and check what is going on. I love that.
Unearthly Wanderings, thank you so much for supporting us here today, Puša Studios, through these purges. You're very welcome. And guys, without you, we wouldn't even have a live stream. We'd be two of us sitting here talking to each other. Not that I don't love talking. I know that sounds bad. I didn't mean it that way. I meant with the live stream on. That's not what I meant. So, yes, but you guys make the live stream what it is. We need Jimmy Fallon. Woof. That's a big grab.
Well, but you never know. We do have different people here. We do have YouTube creators as well as celebrities. If you are new to our channel, check out our playlist of all our interviews. This is season 2. We have interviewed different YouTubers of numerous sizes as well as celebrities. Michael Price. Michael Price, that is creator of The Simpsons. Writer of The Simpsons. David Jameson, Fox in Space. So we also had numerous YouTubers as well. So check it out. It's all featured on our homepage as well as in I link up above us. And if you're new, subscribe.
Susie Channel says, yes, it was a big hit, but I'm happy to not have any spam accounts following me. Now looking forward to interacting with true friends. So well said. That's exactly, guys. It's no benefit to you. There were junk ones. People close accounts, spam accounts, all that stuff. They don't help your channel, and it actually will improve your watch time ratio. So I mean, and secondly, we don't have any contract with YouTube, so we knew that coming in. So they're really at the helm. So it was just better off. It sucks for a second and just move on. And take this world and turn it upside down on here. And you guys all got the talent to do so. Hey, Hillbilly Pro, Pyro, what's going on, my friend?
And we have the link ready. So
hey, Horrible Harry, how are you?
With your permission, my dear husband.
Oh, she's funny today. She's funny.
Just today, obviously.
Just fun. Guys, please, though, before you go, we got a link for you to join us at another live stream. You guys are going to have a lot of fun in this one. It's a little bit addictive, I'm telling you right now. You guys want to play a bit of poker, not for money, but with the same stakes? Please hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do. We got channel shoutouts coming Sunday night, guys, just around the bend. And we're going to send you over. Sure.
By the way, I wanted to announce you guys that next week and Wednesday, we're going to have Viva Frey on. And why we're so excited, he's a fellow Montrealer.
Yep.
He is a fellow Montrealer, a vlogger, a family man, and just amazing person. So that's going to be next week. Stay tuned to our notifications.
There you go, guys. There's the link. We're going to ask you guys if you want to head over and play a game. Please use the hashtag from Puša with Love, of course. That would be awesome. Log to answer comments.
Thank you so much. We are at the end of our stream. We're sending everybody over for end of the stream raid as we always do. But you can rewatch it at any time. We had Scott on. We had, oh my God, we talked about everything from diets, politics, and
yeah, he's asking for an email. I'm just telling you before he goes. So Hendrik.
Yeah, I seen that.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure before he takes off. So. Thank you guys so much for coming tonight, guys. And we definitely had a great time with him. He was just unbelievable. A great conversationalist is an understatement for him. So it was a real pleasure to chat. So guys, remember Sunday night, channel shoutout, 7 p.m. Eastern. You do not want to miss it. Tons of people, great place to meet new people. Part of that rebuilding, that's where it's going to happen. Thank you so much, guys, for coming tonight. Much, much love to you all. Be well. See you soon. Take care. Bye now.